The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
That's been following the case very closely. Jimmy Williams is with us. Jimmy, great to see you tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Let me ask you, you've been in the middle of this. I'm trying to put it all together. Are you from the area?
Hey everybody, it's Mike from Profiling Evil, and I'm here with Dolly Vision at CrimeCon 2024.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly and, of course, the lovely PJ back with me again tonight. And tonight we're going over part 2, the second interview with Jenn Soto. Okay, this interview is after she realized, the one we listened to last night was when she found out that little Maddie Soto was dead in Stephan Stern's car. Now, this interview right here that we're going to listen to tonight is from April 18th, 2024, and this of course is Jenn Soto with her lawyer this time because she's lawyered up. But before we get into all that, you guys already know what to do. Leave your DNA on that damn like button just in case I gotta send a pack of wild wolves to come find you. Okay, just in case I gotta send a pack and you go missing in them hills of Tennessee. Also, if you're brand new and you're watching, sub up ring the bell so you know when this face goes live on the internet. Okay, so last night we got to give some trigger warnings first,
Very
right?
much so.
What you're going to hear is horrible, terrible, horrendous, unimaginable, right? So a lot of last night, what we heard was pure tea discussing. It was a lot about Jenn Soto's sex life and Stephan Stern's Willie and how they got along, and it was insane, right? So thank you for everybody that came by last night to watch part 1 of this. Well,
how does she have immunity?
I just don't know how this lady is not in jail. It blows my mind, right? If it blows your mind, make sure you like the video. If you're super cool out there, share it on your Facebook, okay? Let's get this thing popping tonight. And like I said, the interview you're about to hear is from April 18th, 2024 with Jenn Soto.
Maddie was found March 1st, I think.
Jenn Soto and her lawyer. All right. So without further ado, let's just get it going. Let me share the screen real fast so y'all can hear everything.
And before everybody in chat asks, I'm wearing sunglasses because I have a headache, not because of any other reason.
Okay. Plus, there's bright lights in here. That's why I usually wear shades myself.
Yeah.
All right. So let's add this. Let's do this. And what you're going to hear tonight is just audio. There is no video. Okay. This is the interrogation interview with her and her lawyer. So brace yourself. Be prepared for some trigger warnings.
If you can't handle it.
Yeah. If you can't handle it, maybe tune out. It's pretty bad.
Good morning. We are at the State Attorney's Office in Kissimmee. It's 8:57 a.m. It is April 18th, 2024. I am William J. I am the Division Chief for the Homicide Unit. With me is Danielle Pinnell, also from the Homicide Unit in Kissimmee. Can the detectives identify themselves?
Detective Mark Morris.
Detective Kyle Smallwood. And with us is
Jennifer Soto.
With your attorney,
Matthew Barker.
All right. We went over some things before we went on the record and told you had the opportunity to ask any questions that you needed to ask. If you need a break to consult with your attorney, that is absolutely fine. We'll all step out of the room, turn off our recorders, and let you exercise your constitutional right to have counsel. There's no problem with that. There's water fountains here. There's restrooms. I don't know if you're a smoker or not, but if you get desperate, we can make an outside break time, but we are kind of under time constraints. With that all said, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
I do.
All right. This is an investigative subpoena, so you've been compelled to be here. And in our country, under the 5th Amendment and 14th Amendment, as applied to you under the Florida Constitution as well, you cannot be forced to incriminate yourself.
But she had to be there, right? She had to be there.
To be here. Yes.
She's compelled. That means she has to be there. She don't have no choice. So, it don't really matter. The first interview last night was all lies. All she did was lie. She showed very little emotion. And let's see how she does tonight. Now that she knows she's dead, she knows Stephan did it. Let's see how she acts.
So anything you say today can't and won't be used against you unless you just don't tell us the truth. And I've already explained to your attorney, Mr. Bark, whether or not you've made any inconsistent statements in the past, that is dirt under the bridge, and either a misdemeanor was committed or it wasn't, but we're not going to be using that as a basis of some sort of perjury by false statements, because those other charges wouldn't be perjury anyways. So the most important thing today is to tell the truth. I also explained derivative use immunity, which means if you said that there was a gun, and obviously there's no gun in this case, buried in your attorney's yard, we couldn't go dig up that gun if he told us that, oh yeah, there's the gun that was used is right there. We wouldn't be able to do that. We would have to show that we learned all those things independently from this interview. Okay? Do you have any questions?
So she just has partial immunity. Like if she tells a lie, she can still go to jail. But if she's truthful, they can't use that against her.
Well, I think what they're talking about there is the part where she had clearly lied in the past.
Yeah, because they were calling her
morning
in the interview we heard last night. The police were literally calling her out for not showing no emotion? Why didn't you cry? Like when I told you your daughter was SA'd, you cried. But when I told you that your daughter may not be alive, there was no emotion. So we heard the officer call her out on the first interview, but they're kind of making it out to be like they know she told some inconsistent statements. And long as she tells the truth here, she will be okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's get started.
Redacted already?
Yeah, redacted already. Or did I pause it?
No, it's not paused.
What is going on here?
It's frozen.
Yes, why is it not showing the whole that we downloaded?
It's just not playing. It's like it's frozen because look, the pause sign is right there and it's still got the rest of the video.
Yeah, but look,
In the past, that is
I can go back.
dirt under the bridge, and
Can you go
either
forward
Mr.
past
Newell
that?
did it or it wasn't. But we're not going to be using that as a basis of some sort of perjury by false statements, because those other charges wouldn't be perjury anyways. So the most important thing today is to tell the truth. I also explained derivative use immunity, which means if you said that there was a gun, and obviously there's no gun in this case, buried in your attorney's yard, we couldn't go dig up that gun if you told us that, oh yeah, there's the gun that was used is right there. We wouldn't be able to do that. We would have to show that we learned all those things independently from this interview. Okay? Do you have any questions? All right, so let's get started.
See?
That's a preview because you're not doing it from the copy that we purchased.
Okay, where do I need to play?
I don't know. Put the screen up so I can go this way.
Hold on 1 second, guys. We're having we're going to fix this real quick. And we'll be like right back with you. Do you need this mouse? Okay. Because it's only playing the preview. It needs to play the whole entire thing.
Yeah, because purchases.
Where?
Right there.
Okay.
Right there.
All right.
And now just go to the 2-minute mark. Push play, go to the
Okay. Okay, there it goes. Here's the rest.
Prosecuted, tarred, feathered, executed.
I didn't need to do that for that.
And so with that said, we have the concern that you brought up about if there's something said inconsistent today, not being used against her for filing a false police report.
Right, so for example, if she said something that was false then, and we have no idea that was false now before this interview,
Solar
but she
flares.
comes in and admits that it was false today, we can't use these statements or that admission that it was false against her, just like we couldn't use anything else against her from this interview. Okay.
PJ's on it.
All right. My understanding is that on February 25th of this year, you were working at the hotel on Disney property out at Coronado Springs.
Yes.
You
You have to answer
out loud and loud enough to get caught on the record. I know you're upset. I know.
Yes.
All right. And did you get off at 10 p.m.?
Yes.
All right. Did you go directly home?
Yes.
About how long does it take you to get home?
About 25 to 30 minutes.
And when you get home, who is downstairs, if anybody? You have a 2-story, is it a townhome? Is that the best word for it?
Yeah, it's a townhome.
If anybody is downstairs, who is downstairs?
I saw my daughter Madeline and Stephan.
Do you recall what Madeline was wearing?
No.
And do you recall what Stephan was wearing?
I can't tell you. No.
When you get home from work, do you need to kind of eat a late dinner before you get settled in for bed?
Yes.
And do you eat there at your home?
Yes.
What do you eat?
I think I had a pub sub waiting for me in the house. A sandwich.
Okay. Did anybody join you in sitting down and eating?
No, I ate in my bedroom.
Okay. Did it look like anybody else had recently cooked food or eaten any food there that night?
From what I saw, no.
What did her kid eat?
Or
Yeah, she said she had a sub. She came home. She had a sub. It didn't look like anybody else cooked. Y'all can hear everything, okay? Give us the thumbs up out
Yeah.
there. Yeah. What did Maddie eat?
She was at grandma's for her party.
Yeah, and then she
so they
came
had-
back.
Okay.
You know, this is where, you know, the inconsistencies come in because, you
Mhm.
know, that day she said she's seen her that morning, but by the time she would have seen her, she was already dead in Stephan Stern's car.
Mhm.
So, and she lied about what her daughter was wearing. The
Mhm.
crock was in her bedroom. The other one was thrown in the dumpster. So yeah, she told a bunch of
They can
inconsistencies.
hear it good. It looks like lots
Okay,
of thumbs up.
awesome.
It doesn't look like anyone in my cooking.
Okay. I believe in one of your former interviews you mentioned that Madeline might have gone over with you kind of what she got at the birthday party since you didn't have the chance to go because you were at work.
Mm-hmm.
When and where does that occur?
That occurs like right after I get home. It occurs in my bedroom. Everyone's in my room.
And so by everyone, let's just be clear since I understand you have some roommates. So what do you mean by everyone?
Okay. Madeline, Stephan, and myself were in my bedroom.
To all three of them.
At this point in time, do you recall what Madeline was wearing?
I don't know.
The dress.
Let me
right?
ask it a different way. Can you tell me whether or not she was wearing a long-sleeved green sweatshirt and jeans?
Oh, no.
Okay. Would she have kind of been in her bed gear, or do you think she could have still been in the dress that she wore to her birthday celebration?
She would have been in pajamas. I can't recall the exact pajamas, but she would have been in pajamas. She had already, by this point in the evening, she had already showered and changed out of that.
Well, good question would be, where did she change? She didn't have a bedroom,
Right.
right? So she comes home with Stephan. Did she go into Stephan room number 4? You know, the room where all the pornography and all that stuff was shot, where there was a camera stand. Was it room number 4 she went and changed in? Where did she keep her pajamas? You know, if she kept them downstairs, did she go downstairs and change?
She just,
She-
you know, had her room.
She
in the
just
wide
glosses.
open in the
She just
living room.
glosses over things.
Birthday dress.
And was it your understanding from your sister that she had gotten dropped off about 8:30, she being Madeline?
8:30, 8:45, something around that time, yeah.
And what's your understanding as to when Stephan had gotten there? If you know. If you don't guess, it's fine.
Actually, while he's saying that, this is important. So there's things that you might think should be a certain way because that's just the way things go. But don't just guess based on past history that it's the same as what happened on that particular day. If you don't know, you don't know.
Then yeah, I'm not sure exactly what time he got there.
Okay. You were at work, so I just didn't know if, like, sometimes families check in, hey, I made it, by text or by phone call or anything like that. Do you not remember any of that?
I don't remember.
Okay. How long were the three of you in your bedroom?
I'm gonna say for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
I
And
just
did
can't
Madeline
imagine
tell you about the party?
you and me and Ava sitting in the room on the bed, just like, what are they telling bedtime stories? Like it just,
Yeah.
it just.
And then she sends them off to bed, you know, or Stephan goes home, comes back, you know, the woman, she had to have known, and she does. Somebody said she sounded annoyed. She sounds aggravated that she got to be there. Doesn't it seem like you'd be more mad? And my thoughts would be, what are y'all going to do with him?
I would be ashamed of myself.
Yeah, like she's like, you know, by this point she's lawyered up. She's aggravated that she has to be there. Like, this is your daughter, woman, that you neglected and you put on a silver platter for a monster.
Really happy.
Did she tell you what food they had there at the party?
Yeah, she they had her favorites.
What are her favorites?
Puerto Rican food. So arroz con gandules.
All right, so you're gonna have to translate to English. I know frijoles and arroz and a couple other things, but help me out.
Her daughter has just been murdered, and she's in there
laughing.
laughing about Puerto Rican food. That's a sign right there. Okay, that something is hellaciously wrong with this woman.
If I recall correctly, she had requested rice is a type of rice and beans.
Mm-hmm.
It's rice with pigeon peas.
Okay.
And pernil, which is, I'm not sure how to, it's a pork, but I'm not sure how they cook it.
Okay.
So it's cooked pork. That's typically what she requests for her parties. That's like her favorite meal.
Okay. And what kind of gifts did she get?
She got a lot of money.
Money.
That's what she ended up showing me. I think she had a few trinkets, but like most of it was just a big wad of money that she was so excited for.
I would have
Is there
asked
any
her
particular
what she
reason,
got
Stephan?
her.
I don't think she knows what she got. I don't believe
I don't
she.
think she got her anything.
I don't think.
I think the little friend of hers, or Maddie, said that she was upset she hardly got anything and that Jennifer didn't get her anything. I
Yeah.
don't know how true that is, but I think that's what.
Well,
the little
you know,
kid
she
said.
kept saying that they didn't have much money. That's the reason
Yeah.
they didn't go out to eat. And so I'm sure the kid was probably pretty happy to get some money so she could, you know, do some things. She's a teenage girl. What teenage girl don't like money?
Yeah.
Couldn't make it up to the party because it's my understanding he didn't exactly work or anything.
He wouldn't have been invited.
Good dig.
The party was held at my mom's house, and my mom and him have never had a great relationship.
That's telling.
Ever.
So he wasn't at the party because he wasn't
I love
invited.
the detective threw a dig at him.
Because the mom, you know, y'all don't work.
No,
you know?
he said about Stephan. He's
Stephan,
like,
he don't
was there any
work.
reason why he wasn't there? It's not like he works or anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically a bum that you're, you know, letting stay in your house and sleep with your daughter.
And then her mom don't like him. That's a sign right there.
Yeah, and you know, here's the thing. Still to this day, she hadn't denounced this man.
Yeah, she
and there's rumors that she may have spoke to him in jail. And like, you know, if somebody hurt my kid, I would be out here screaming horrible things about them to the rooftop. I mean, I hope he's prosecuted. I want to see him in prison. I hope he gets the electric chair. But you don't hear this woman saying none of that. And she takes it like, you know, it ain't been long. She just discovered her daughter was dead and she's laughing about Puerto Rican food.
Yeah.
She's disgusting. She is. It's like making a deal with the devil, right? You never do that. I don't think they need Jenn Soto to prosecute Stephan Stearns. So why treat her good? Hit her with every charge, child neglect. Every time you sent her in that room with that man, she should get a charge for
I
it.
agree.
Right? She should be in prison for the next 40, 50 years.
Actually, I would charge her for every photo that had a date on it.
Yeah, and you know, we don't even know if she took some of those photos.
Right.
And because, like I said, some of her text messages were pretty cryptic, like, you know, I'm scared, I'm nervous about her sleeping in the room with me.
She can't risk it.
She can't risk it. What does that mean? You can't risk your kid sleeping in the room with you? Did you have like maybe a fetish for your own kid? I mean, I know it sounds sick. I know it sounds sick, right? But listen, there are some terrible ass people out there. And well, let's give a trigger warning, guys. Trigger warning. We're gonna be talking about some stuff that deals with the death of a young girl tonight, and some of the activities that may have possibly been going on in this house. But I do want to give our warnings real fast before we get too far into it. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, mixed with some theories, throw in a little bit of comedy. So don't take nothing you hear here as fact. Everybody you hear is innocent to proven guilty in a court of law, and that means these idiots that you're listening to right now. Also, don't try to be Dolly at home. It is dangerous, and the callers' opinions are theirs and theirs alone. If we get to calls tonight, all right?
So he wouldn't have been invited to the party at all. It just would have been my whole family, and then me. If I hadn't worked, I would have been there.
Okay. Now, during this 30 minutes that the three of you are in your bedroom, is Madeline engaging in any of her kind of nighttime routine, or, you know, getting ready for bed? What else is going on, if anything?
We spent a long time talking about gifts and having her show me, and then we counted out her money.
How much money was it?
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing.
I can't remember if she had finished with all of her bedtime routine.
I hate her.
Okay. Does she brush her teeth
Said I hate her.
In the shower.
in the shower? Okay.
Uh-huh.
And that occurred before you got home?
Yeah.
And my understanding with her nighttime medication is that's something that you would like to make sure she had
Okay, then we
bedtime or
got
so?
Something like that, yeah.
So were you present for that occurring, or did that occur after you got home?
that did not occur on my call. I believe I had instructed Maddie when she got home to go ahead and take them herself.
Okay. And is that something that she's allowed to do?
From time to time, yeah.
When you say they, is there what my understanding was there was some hydroxyzine? Is there anything else she takes at night?
Just hydroxyzine.
All right. And the Miralax is when?
Miralax is
All right, they redacted that because it's dealing with
So that would have been
medical.
earlier while you were at work too if she took it?
yeah.
May not have because she was at the party.
Yeah, because I had been training at work that week and we had been going back and forth with my mom's a lot. The Miralax wasn't consistent.
Okay. All right. Now, Madeline, does she lay out her clothes for school the next day, or is that something she gets in the morning, makes a game time decision like my kid?
Typically, it is a game time decision morning of.
Okay. What about this specific evening? Do you remember anything about it?
Yes, this evening we had, I had already discussed prior to Stephan coming to visit that he was going to help me take Maddie to school that day. So because I knew that that was what was going to happen that night, I had asked Maddie, pick out your clothes, have everything ready, have your backpack ready, your water bottle, everything you need ready so that way you could just grab your stuff and head out. It won't be too much of a hassle in the morning. And so she did. She picked out her clothing. I asked her what she was wearing, and she told me what she.
Wow, Stormy. See, did you see that comment right there? My mom was the same exact way. This is how I know Jen knew. My mom gave her ex-husband time alone with me when I was 9 for 2 years. That is absolutely horrible. You know, how could a parent do that? Where's the disconnect from motherhood to you do whatever you want, my child, to keep a man, you know what I'm saying, to make a man happy. You know, that is sick and absolutely disgusting. Hey guys, if y'all are just coming in, make sure y'all give this video a like. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 pretty quick tonight. That usually helps us get into the algorithm.
632 so far.
So we got 632
Happy
likes
now.
so far, and we got 1,300 of you guys here with us listening to this disturbing ass interview.
Parents
So,
do it for cash.
I know
Somebody
what
said,
you're
"Oh my
hearing
God."
tonight is absolutely bad, but still give me a like. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep these lights on. So make sure you like the video if you're just coming in. And it's good to see each and every one of you beautiful people tonight.
She picked out. I said, okay, fine.
All right. So she picks it out, but does she physically take it out of somewhere, wherever she stores her clothes, and put it somewhere?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she took that clothes upstairs with her or anything like that.
All right. So as far you didn't see them in your room, and did you have the opportunity to kind of see her cubby part of the living room to see if she had put them on her bed or anything like that?
I hadn't seen them.
Does Madeline have like a water bottle or a hydro flask or whatever the kids call it that she likes to sleep with and bring up or bring wherever she's sleeping?
Typically not. That stays downstairs in her backpack, and then she'll clean it in the morning and then fill it back up and just leave it in her backpack. That typically stays in the backpack.
Okay. Favorite stuffed animal or stuffed animals? Anything that always goes with her wherever she's sleeping?
She does have a few stuffies and blankies. Did I see any that day?
Yeah, specifically, did you see if she brought any of that stuff upstairs with her?
No, I didn't see any of that stuff upstairs.
Now, a separate question. Generally, habitually, like your attorney was saying, there's a difference between specific memory, but generally, would she do that? Not saying that you saw it that night.
Generally, would she do what?
Have stuffies and blankets and her favorite stuff.
Thank you.
Yes, she typically would.
So if Stephan says something like Maddie's building her nest and getting settled in, would that to you mean like her stuff is part of this nest, or what do you think that would mean if you know?
Making her nest. Okay, what is she, a bird?
What?
Yeah, making her nest. I'm, I guess you could call it your sleeping area a nest if you was a pigeon or
You know
a parakeet.
what really disturbs me about that is that people call when a pregnant woman is getting closer to giving birth, they start gathering and making like their home more tidy.
Nesting.
And it's called nesting.
Yeah.
I mean, she wouldn't have been like that. Or at
and
that
we know
stage.
she was late on her period too.
See, the way that they said that, it didn't necessarily mean that. It could have meant that she just didn't tell her mom that month.
Yeah.
But
Jen wasn't aware of it.
They're alluding to the fact
That she was late.
She was late.
That
Yes.
she was late. She had inconsistent cycles. We learned that last night in the very first one.
Why else would you say that unless it was?
I mean, he started off asking really like to the point questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, how was your sex life? What positions did y'all like to have sex in?
She said vanilla.
Yeah. And like, it's totally disgusting, but it's the lack of emotion that is so telling.
And a lot of people I saw a couple of comments saying that was because she's bipolar. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that.
If you lose your child and then you find out your child is dead, I
think she was making a bunch of excuses like the disability thing to try not to work. You can go, she acted like she had PTSD, but she was going to all these places with a lot of people. It didn't seem like her anxiety was that bad that where she couldn't hold down a functional job. And she was doing a lot of, pills that knock you out. She was smoking a lot of weed, which also will make you hungry and put you to sleep, which Dolly no longer does. It's been 17 days, 18 days? So yeah, stay off of that stuff. Okay.
I think it's been 18 or 19.
19 days. Yeah. So I'm doing good. I'm
not sure.
Okay. Do you recall getting that text from Stephan that night that Maddie had settled into her nest for the night?
I don't remember that text now.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's
my understanding was that at some point you told them it was time to go to bed. Do you recall about what time that was?
What now?
She's like, go to bed, kids.
Yeah, she sent, she
weird.
knew. Here's the thing. She talked about the Woody Allen effect last night in the very first interview, that she was scared that her daughter would fall in love with Stephan Stearns. Okay. And then they would run away together and get married. And the police have all her text messages between the two of them, and it sounds like that they would be sending messages back and forth from one room to the other. And still what is shocking is the message that was like, I don't know if it's safe for her to sleep in the bed with me
She
anymore.
said, I don't think I'm going to have her sleep with me anymore, that it's
too risky,
basically.
Yeah, too risky. What does that mean? Why would it, if your daughter slept in the bed with you, why would it be too risky? Unless you had been doing things with her and you thought you may get caught.
That's instantly what came to my mind. I saw a thread where somebody was saying that they believed that it was because she was trying to tell that to Stephan so that he would be discouraged from going there anymore. Like, and that, like it's getting risky. She may talk. We better watch what we do, because I believe when she started talking about, terms like that vanilla term, when that's used in a sexual world where they use a lot of, let's just say bondage and different things, that's a word that is coined from those people, right? So apparently she knows about these crazy sex acts, knows all about because the way she described her sex life with him. Right. That's my opinion.
Yeah. She may have been a little bit of a freaky deek. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know that to be positive, but the way she describes things, she knew an awful lot. She knew more than I did about that type of stuff. I was like, I don't know what none of that shit is,
Around 11 o'clock.
So that's consistent with getting home at 10:30, having this half-hour discussion and eating your pub sub? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Do they comply with your wishes to go upstairs when you say that at about 11 o'clock?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Is there any further communication between either you and Madeline or you and Stephan about, all right, kids, it's time to go to bed?
He said it just like I did.
Was that the last you had heard from either one of them that night?
I think at some point Stephan comes downstairs to use the restroom and then goes back upstairs, but after that I don't recall interacting or saying anything to them.
Okay. And my understanding is that you had some sort of parental controls over Maddie's phone. Is that accurate?
I'm not sure by parental controls exactly.
Okay, somebody says, I don't even know what vanilla means. What does it mean? It is basically just straight sex activity. Nothing like, what would be the word? Exotic. Nothing crazy. No whips and chains, no tying each other up, no beating on each other or any of the other foul, crazy things that people do.
But no 50 Shades of Grey.
No 50 Shades of Grey. Just straight up
not
missionary sex. And she said that they would do oral. That was pretty much her sex life with Stephan Stearns. So she described
I've just only
it.
heard it called vanilla in the term of back when I first started dating 10 years ago. And I saw
that just means you're kind of plain. You're kind of playing with your sex. You don't need nothing crazy. You don't need midgets and flamethrowers and donkeys to, get to where you need to get. You know what I'm saying? You just regular. You just a regular old person.
That's a bad term to say.
All right.
I think
I don't know what
small
chocolate
people know.
swirl is. I'm a little too scared to find out what that one is. Okay. When you a swirl, I don't know.
All right, we're going too far.
We're going too
We're
far,
going way too
right?
far.
We don't want to get too off track here.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess that's, some of you ladies probably know all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all might be freaks out there. We don't know. We got to keep our eyes on you.
I didn't have any limits or anything on the phone set up.
Well, like, for instance, if she wanted to install Game Pigeon, does that have to go through you?
Yeah. So any permissions for any apps, she would have to ask me for.
All right, and does that ring a bell as to occurring that Sunday? Game Pigeon?
I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So that's the last time you hear from either one of them until the morning. My understanding is that Stephan comes down and is dealing with your dog. Is there any communication other than perhaps Stephan coming down to use the restroom? Is there any other communication that you have between Stephan and Maddie? Do you see them? Now, I've said communicate. Do you see them? Do you go up and check on them? Do you see Madeline or Stephan from the point you kick them out at 11 p.m. until you see
It's just
Stephan
audio.
at 8 in the morning-ish is what you guess for the dog.
No, I didn't see them.
Okay. Now,
Swinging
you go
from
to
the
sleep.
chandelier.
Do you sleep through the night, or do you kind of wake up and not have consistent good sleep?
I sleep through the night.
Okay. So there wouldn't be any points in time where you get up and you're taking steps or just checking on your phone because you can't go back to sleep? As far as you remember, when you go to sleep, you're out until the dog thing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you hear or see anything during those hours involving Stephan or Madeline?
I didn't hear or see anything at night.
All right. What's the first thing you remember when you wake up after having gone to sleep?
I wake up to Stephan trying to put the leash on the dog.
797.
Now,
We're
is this
getting
the
up
first
there.
time that
Thumb
you've
it
ever
up.
woken up to Stephan trying to put a leash on your dog, or is that something that has occurred before in the past?
I'm going to say this is the first time. It's not normal for any of us to put the leash on the dog on the bed because if he's on top of any like bed, couch, anything, he'll pee. He gets really nervous. You have to do it on the floor. So I found it really weird that he did that. But
All right, so let me ask it a little more broadly. Is this the first time Stephan's ever come into your room while you're sleeping to take the dog out for you in the morning?
I can't recall if he's something before.
Okay. Did you find it unusual then, or what did you think when this is occurring?
When it happened, I think it was more.
I wouldn't have let Lolo sleep in the same room with him. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't let this man around my dog, anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, what woman, and I hate to sound like a broken record here, guys, but what woman in their right mind is going to let their 13-year-old, and you got to remember he was taking Viagra.
I have a 13-year-old.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, sometimes when
I'll be
guys,
damned over my dead
sometimes when
body.
guys wake up, it's a natural thing. They wake up with an erection, right?
Over my dead
So
body.
why would you let your kid go sleep in a room?
Do you notice how the detective said when you kicked him out, like
Yeah, because she
certain
did
phrases,
it.
she did. She
Did
literally
it.
talked
She
him out the room. Like, there you
basically get out,
go.
go
Have
in,
fun.
go. Yeah, I don't know.
It's sick.
It is disturbing, and how this lady has made it this far without going to prison or being in jail or charged with anything
I wouldn't be able to sit there and talk to her.
is mind blowing. They really want to hit her with a phone book. You know what I'm saying? And she knew from them first interviews that she may be in a little trouble, because if you ain't done nothing wrong, why would you lawyer up? Right. And this time she's in there with a lawyer.
I mean, honestly, in this day and age, it's how you always say they could set you up and plant the Colombian Bam Bam and whatever else you say.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's technically good to have a lawyer, but at the same time,
everything is being audio recorded, video recorded.
Yeah.
So everything you're saying can and will be used against you in a court of law. They make that so anything you say, even with your lawyer there, can be used against you.
I found it off, but I was more worried over the dog. I was like, please don't pee on the bed. I don't want to do laundry.
Okay.
She doesn't want to do laundry.
She's lazy. She's lazy.
He put the dog on the leash and told me to lay down and go back to sleep. And I said, okay.
So were you not laying down when he tells you to go back and lay down?
No, when he put the leash on the dog, I shot up off the bed because I was going to help him. I was like, no, let me do it. And he's like, no, go back to sleep. I'm fine. I got this.
49er girl,
Okay.
7
Now,
months.
do you go back to sleep, or do you check your phone or do anything?
I think I go back to sleep. I look at anything.
In this period of time that you have been awoken by Stephan, do you hear or see anybody else in your household?
I hear somebody in the kitchen.
Welcome aboard the Dolly train, Nina. She says vanilla. Listen, we serving vanilla on the train.
Vanilla's my favorite.
Right. We got some strawberry. We got chocolate. We got banana splits. Okay. Now, if that means something in this sexual world, I have no clue to what it means. So, I mean, we got ice cream on the train. Okay. We got real ice cream. When I say vanilla, it means vanilla scoop. When I say chocolate, it means chocolate ice cream, Rocky Road. I like all those. But that freaky shit, oh, no, y'all can keep that. Okay. Y'all can keep that.
I'm not sure
Chocolate peanut butter, right?
I'm not sure who it was, but
Could you
All this ice cream talk is making me hungry. Like, do we got any ice cream? I know I got some popsicles in there, but I don't think I got any ice cream.
identify it by size, like their steps? Could you identify gender by their voice? Anything like that?
all I heard was sounds of like cabinets shutting, like somebody in there shutting, like looking for something and shutting.
Okay.
Thank you, honey
Now, if
bun.
your daughter had been awake, would she come in and say goodbye to you before school, or not? Just let you sleep?
I would have hoped.
Somebody said Jenn Soto is worse than him in their opinion. I want to stop it right there. I agree also.
I agree.
Because
1,000,000%.
I mean, he is a monster. Don't get me wrong.
He
but
would have
it-
never had any.
But she is a person that fed her kid to a monster, knowing this dude's a monster. No, she suspected it because she said the whole Woody Allen
Right,
thing.
she knew.
She said she was never comfortable with them doing it, but yet she said I was selfish, right? And I needed sleep. So her sleep was more valuable than her daughter.
She naps during the day. She literally told us in the other interview that she takes her to school and then
Because
she comes
that
home
one-
and then she gets a little rest.
That one
and then,
medicine she takes is an anxiety medicine, and it probably knocks her
it's
out.
an antihistamine, hydroxyzine.
No, that ain't what I'm talking about. She was taking something else. That is I don't want to say, we aren't going to say medicines here because we're not medical experts. But she was taking a pill, yes, that will knock you into sleep, right? And especially if she was abusing them, right? I ain't saying she was, but it looked like she might have been
I
a
mean,
little bit
that on top of smoking and all
smoking
that
but yeah, you're going to be out. You're going to be a little in la la land. And it is horrible because she served her child up to this monster on a silver platter. I think she should get just as much time, if not more.
She would have come by and say goodbye to me. I can't remember if this is one of the first times that Stephan actually took her to school, so
Please don't name drugs in the chat.
Good night, but I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah, guys, don't be
I'm
naming
deleting all that.
don't be naming medicines in the chat, right? YouTube is real funny about those things,
We're
right?
not doctors.
Yeah, we're not doctors. We can't be talking about medicines and things like that. They like to strike videos and take videos down for that type of stuff. So if you're in the chat, please don't name any medicines. Okay, we're not medical professionals here. We'll just say meds, and we got to talk in code. You know how YouTube works. You ain't brand new. Okay. So I see people jumping on the Dolly train. Jen says Jen created and approved and executed that Woody Allen situation.
She did. She
Yes.
almost set it up like in real life, lived it or something. It's
And Heather-
weird and sick.
Heather's been a member for 4 months. So tragic. This POS was in her life. That is absolutely true. And you got to be real careful about who you bring around your kids and the type of person you're with. Now, especially if they're saying and doing odd things. Like, oh, I'm just going to go in here and sleep with your kid. You
Trigger
sleep by
warning.
yourself. Trigger warning. Who wouldn't find that odd? Who wouldn't find that strange? You know what I'm saying? And as a father, right? And I have a daughter. She's 24 years old. Tiff is 24 now, right? And me and her mother split. That was one of my biggest fears. But thank God my baby mama got with a decent dude. He's a tree hugger, right? Old hippie guy. And he was really good to my kid. He was nice, never had no problems with him. But I did, say to him right in the beginning, I said, listen, you ever try to discipline my kid? You do anything crazy, and I will spend the rest of my life in prison. I have no problem doing it. And he's always been a decent person. I never, and she stayed with that same dude still with him. So I never had that problem. And Tiff is grown now. But it is one of those fears as a father, right? That and I'm sure Maddie's dad was the same way. I hope Jen gets with a decent guy, because this is the dude that's going to be around my daughter, right? And, I hate to spend the rest of my life in prison behind your ass, but just know I will, right? So it's sad. And she allowed this. She allowed this type of person to be around her kid. And like I said, not only allowed it, but pretty much fed this little girl to him on a silver plate. And listen, I know this is disgusting, trigger warning, guys. And I believe she was taking part with it. Okay. And then when she didn't want to take part, she would send them off on their own. Because she basically said she stopped having sex with him.
Mm-hmm.
What
did she think he was doing?
Well, yes, exactly. So she had to.
And then she said things like, "Oh, it hurt because the size or whatever." Which,
but what do you think that was doing to your 8-year-old daughter?
So here, take my kid instead. I swear to God.
And how could you not hear that? If it's hurting you, what do you think it's doing to this little tiny ass girl?
I hope they gave her enough medication to not.
And drugging her so that she can be SA'd. Mm-hmm. Like, lady, you need to be in prison, no doubt.
So do you fall back asleep?
I do.
And when do you wake up, and how do you wake up?
I wake up at like 9 o'clock in the morning to my alarm. I wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning to my alarm. I get ready. I think at around 9:30, 9:45, I leave for my doctor's appointment.
Okay. So in this period of time from when you're waking up and getting ready, do you see anybody else in your home?
Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm not too sure. I know throughout the day I've seen my roommate in the kitchen cooking and doing her thing, but I don't recall if it was at this time.
Did you see your daughter this morning on the 26th?
No.
Did you have any texts or phone calls or any other type of communication through any possible app on your phone? Like, hey, Mom, love you at school, whatever. Any communications from Madeline?
Anything from her? Nothing.
All right. How about from Stephan by the time that you wake up at 9? Any texts or communication from him? Maddie's dropped. I'm off to the game store or whatever he's doing.
No. I didn't hear back from Stephan until 10:20ish, and he had told me he left his phone at home.
So how did he tell you that?
Yeah, how did he tell her? Yeah, he told me he left the phone at home. She, it's convenient that, Maddie left her phone at home that day.
Right.
He kept having phone issues that day.
He got lost.
Yeah, he got lost. I mean,
This is a grown man.
And if you listen to their stories right in the beginning, they were so scripted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could see she was more concerned about his, fake crime. Remember, he was over there, my daughter dropped her off, and she was rubbing him but she didn't show no compassion towards her daughter, but all this compassion towards Stephan Stearns. So, I still believe that this woman to this day is in love with this man. She also told his father to get him a lawyer. Right now,
when she realized that he was
after the
caught.
essay, after he was caught, she's telling the dad, Stephan's dad, to get him a lawyer. This dude just SA'd and possibly unalived your child.
I would be telling his dad to get him out my face before I kill him.
I would be telling him if I ever seen him, his son is a goner. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't do that because she still, for some reason, loves this man over her daughter. She had a disconnect from Maddie.
And I had asked him how the morning went, how was Maddie, and he let me know.
That's what I have, YouTube Premium.
This morning went great. We made great time. She got busy super quick. He was going to take her to McDonald's for breakfast, but she changed her mind. All she wanted to do was sleep in the car. So he let her sleep. He took her to school and dropped her off, or he said he dropped her off, and that was it.
And you had a 10:15 appointment for a blood draw?
Yes.
And did you go anywhere else prior to getting to your appointment for your blood draw? Did you go directly there or not directly there? It's basically.
Well, I want to touch on this. It said Maddie had to hate all of them. What normal 13-year-old girl says she wants to run away when she turns 13 and live in the woods? Okay. No normal girl says that. I want to go live in them. She didn't want to be around any of these people because they were abusing her.
My kid said she wants to go to England when she turns 18.
That's 18. That's maybe she likes England, but she's almost the exact same age as Maddie. Which you ever heard her say, "I want to go live in the woods"?
No.
You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be like, "Hell no!" Right? She ain't that type of kid. That would be odd if she said, "I want to go live in the woods." Wouldn't you think something was wrong?
Yes.
You'd be like, "Okay, yeah, something is wrong here," because she mostly just wants to hang out with her friends. You know what I'm saying? Let me go kick it with my friends and take me here, pick me up here, take me here, pick me up here, give me money,
Skating,
right?
I need money.
Yeah, and that's normal behavior. If it was anything different, don't you think we would be alerted to that? Right? Yeah. So
Question.
Oh, I went directly there.
And after your blood draw, did you go directly back home?
Yes.
About what time did you get home?
Sometime between 11:15 and 11:30.
Did you have any other appointments or doctor's appointments later in the day?
I was supposed to have had one, but I canceled it
When did you cancel it?
that same day
Why did you cancel it?
because it was a $350 Botox appointment that I didn't want to spend the money on. I changed my mind last second.
When you get home from your blood draw,
So she was going to spend $350 on Botox.
That could be for migraines. So it's not necessarily a plastic surgery for looks only procedure.
You get Botox for migraines.
I've heard that.
What did Dog the Bounty Hunter do? Did he have migraines in his lips? Because he
Probably not.
blew them shits up like damn. Like who been filling your lips up? What man gets Botox in the lips? I mean, I
One
know
that
Dog the Bounty
thinks
Hunter
he's
does,
pretty.
But I'm just thinking,
I'm pretty sure he's got hair extensions too.
you will never hear
Or
me
hair
go,
plugs
"Hey
and
guys,
extensions.
I'm about to go get some Botox in my lips." Okay.
I couldn't even convince you to get a pedicure that other day.
If you trying to make your lips fat, I'm thinking you trying to suck on something. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
I knew you were
bro, I
getting
know you
ready
got
to
a
go
wife,
there.
but why are you trying to fill your lips out? You know, that's a little strange to me. I'd be a little questionable at that point when you start trying to get some fat ass duck
my
lips.
niece got it for migraine. Someone said
I've never heard of that. Botox for migraines.
it's not the same Botox as for your face.
Oh,
I
okay.
had Botox for migraines and it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. All right. When I hear Botox, I'm thinking somebody stabbing a needle in your face because you got a wrinkle. I'm good with the wrinkles. Look, I'm old. Give me a couple for that shows I've been around a while. Like, you ain't stabbing me in the face with no needles, right? Even when I was in the hospital, every time they would go to draw blood from me, and they kept doing it from the same damn hand. It hurt too. And I was just like,
And
I
they
couldn't
didn't want to bruise
look.
your other hand.
I couldn't look. I'm a big sissy when it comes to blood. It makes me faint and like I'm gonna pass out. Even when they're pulling it from me, I'm like, I can't even look at that. And they just kept taking blood every 2 hours. They were stabbing me. Right. I had bruises. I looked like, when I got out of the hospital, guys, I looked like a full blown junkie. Just this one right here where they put the pick in the ambulance, that was the worst one because they kept moving it and they never used it. So from the point I got in the hospital, I had this pick in my arm where they can, all they did was come in and flush it out. But they had the IV hooked to my other arm.
That's because they did that in the other freaking. They did that in the ambulance. They did that in the hospital.
So I looked at the lady. I said,
in case that one blows out,
I said, lady, y'all
to.
haven't used this needle in 3 days. Can you get this shit out my arm? It hurts worse than a heart attack. Okay. It was just killing me. And it was all bruised and it was bleeding. And I was just like, can y'all get this thing out of my arm? Right. You got one in this arm. What the hell did y'all need 2 of them for? And one of them you're not even using. Yeah, I couldn't do Botox.
Appointment. Is there anybody else at your home?
When I get home from blood draw. Yes, Stephan was home.
All right. And can you describe what
this interview is after they found Maddie Soto?
April 18th. They found Maddie on March 1st.
Yeah, this is April 18th, 2024. She showed up with her lawyer to the how do you say, the Kissimmee? Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, this is after she knows her daughter's dead.
Attorney's office.
Yeah, she knows her daughter's dead. She knows about the essay, and she seems awful calm, like another day, and like she's talking about,
not talking all soft.
She sounds like she's at a Tupperware party. You know what I'm saying? Just kicking it with the girls. I don't know. It's so odd to me. This woman right here. I see people saying that. I'm one of those people that I say I don't hate anybody, but I hate her actions. I hate what she did to this little girl. You know what I'm saying? She's definitely, to me, I consider Jenn Soto a monster. All right, I don't know what you guys think. If you think Jenn Soto is a monster, like this video, okay? Like me. If you think the same way me, this woman is a monster. I want to see 1,590 likes on this video. Okay. If you think she was just like, oh, she didn't know and she's just an innocent mother, okay, don't like the video. Dislike it. Okay. Dislike the video. But do one or the other. And then once you do that, guys, real quick while we're playing this, let me see where you guys are from. I want to see where your beautiful people are watching from tonight. Do we have a lot of people down there in Florida where this took place? Let us know. So like the video and then shout out where you're watching from in the chat room.
Wearing, what he's doing, his demeanor, what's going on.
Washington
I
State.
don't recall what he's wearing. It might be a red shirt with a graphic on it.
Okay.
South Carolina, Nevada.
He's sitting in my bedroom on my desk.
Prior to you getting there,
Miami?
he's in your room, or is that where you guys go to talk?
That he was hanging out there in my room.
Okay.
My room is kind of
Tampa?
like a general hangout spot.
Okay.
I walk into my room. He's sitting there on the computer chair.
Kingsport.
He's talking, acting normal, asking about the morning and how everything went. And that he let me know the errands that he ran that morning or what he was up to.
And what did he say he was up to?
He said he had dropped Maddie off at school and then afterwards went to a vape shop so he can buy vaping things.
Okay.
But that the store wasn't open, so he waited a long time for them to open. They never did. So he drove around, killed time, and then eventually made it back to my house at like 10:20. When later on, when I got home and he was home, we started discussing.
See, somebody said in chat, she's not a monster, she's an idiot. I disagree with that. Nobody is that damn dumb. Okay, listen. I'm not that dumb. There is no way on this planet there is a human being that dumb. I think she plays dumb. She has selective memory. She pretends, but this woman's not dumb. She's not disabled like she said she was, PTSD. I don't see any of that. I see a lady that's trying to play the system, not trying to do much, and is more concerned about a man than her child.
Where he started telling me that he was going to go back out to run a few more errands in a little bit down 182, and he gave me the name of a few stores that he might stop at. And I'm like, okay. I asked him if he wanted to meet me at my house by 2:30 so that we can go pick up Maddie from school together. And he said, yeah, he'll be back.
Moto Mom!
Okay.
So was that the plan, to get her together, or was it ever discussed that he would get her alone?
The plan was for us to get her together.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Callie.
Does he leave before you leave?
Actually, before this, while we were still discussing, while we were having the conversation in my room, he did mention at one point, while he was sitting there, that he had to reboot his phone.
That's the dumbest
There you
shit
go.
I've ever
Melissa
heard.
says she's a monster idiot. That's
Yeah.
true. That. There you go.
That he had to update his phone. And what was it? He had to update his phone. So I told him, stop avoiding it, do it. Like, updates take a while, like, do it. And while he was updating his phone, he said, I don't know what I did, but I just factory reset my phone. And I said, that's weird. I didn't know that you could do that. He said, yeah, a button popped up and I pressed it and it just reset my entire phone.
Stop
And I'm
it.
like, oh, that sucks.
So does he leave before you do to go do these errands he was telling you about?
Yes, he does leave.
Do you stay at home until it's time to go?
Now here's the thing. To reset your phone is a totally different set. You have to actually go into your settings to try to reset
You
your
have
phone.
to push yes like 5 times to get it to actually
Yes,
do it all
and
the
to
way.
update your phone will let you know when it's an update. You click on it, hit update. So it's
like
two different
separate menus.
Yeah, it's two separate different places. So there's no way to accidentally factory reset your phone while you're updating your phone. Okay. So what he keeps saying, well, I need to update my phone. Or like they knew them pictures were on that phone, and he thought by factory resetting the phone that he was going to get rid of them. And that's his second phone. He had a phone before that. Can you imagine what's on the phone prior to that?
The fact that she's going to backup mode and I'm going to back my man up and tell these people that, whoopsie, he accidentally
did it. It's awful convenient. He accidentally did it the day before he got arrested. Okay. And that, whatever
That's an important part of her story.
And we don't know what he took out the storage unit.
No, we don't.
The next day when they kicked him out the house, they went and stayed in the hotel. Right, he left in the middle of the night, went to this storage unit
with her car.
That's right. And what did he take out that storage unit? Okay, I think he took out some damage and evidence, destroying evidence against himself.
There was a computer tower, I thought.
He probably went and destroyed it and crushed it up.
Holy moly! It's already 11:45.
Get Madeline.
Yes.
Do you hear anything from Stephan while he's out doing these errands?
No.
So 2:30 rolls around. Is Stephan back home yet?
No.
He got lost.
Do you try and call him or text him or communicate with him?
Yeah, I had been calling him like maybe starting 15 minutes before I was supposed to leave just to see where he was.
Did he answer?
Maybe he left his phone.
Yeah,
I leave at
conveniently.
2:30. Around 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him. And he said, I'm so sorry. I left my phone at home again on accident. I was driving down 192 and my tire exploded or shredded. And I had to pull over into one of the plazas and change my tire. He said he hurt his thumb doing that. And that, he was late and didn't make it back on time for that reason.
All right. When you leave to go pick Madeline up at 2:30, do you take her?
I know I would bite her too, Lolo. She's a monster. Don't worry. We ain't going to let them get you.
I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Phone with you?
I do.
And how is it that you come to get her phone to go with you?
At some point in the morning, I was organizing and putting things away, and I walked into her bedroom and I saw her phone on her dresser. And I just assumed, oh, she must have left it here while getting dressed and forgot it.
Okay. Was it on?
Yes.
And sometimes when you bump or move phones, the notification screen comes up.
Mhm.
Did you happen to do that? And did you see if there's any incoming notifications that she had missed?
I hadn't seen any.
Okay. All right. So you go to school, and due to time constraints, like an NFL football game, we're going to kind of jump ahead a little bit. My understanding is that you want to be first in line,
Mhm.
and you have to get there early to do that, and I understand that.
Yeah.
She doesn't come out.
She doesn't know.
Did you call her phone?
I did.
Why did you do that?
Because I forgot I had it with me. I was like, where is she? Why isn't she out yet? So I start calling her phone, and then I start realizing I'm hearing vibrating, and then I look down, and I see her phone's with me. I'm like, oh.
Okay, she's lying right there because in a previous interview, she said that she had left the phone at the house, right? And that she picked up the phone to bring it to the school so she could give it to her when she came out. Does anybody remember that? Her saying that, right? She said she had left her phone at the house. So when I went back to the school, I took the phone with me and that way I could give it to her. So now she's saying she's calling the phone and it's vibrating in her car. Okay. That right there is inconsistencies. All right. That right there is a bold-faced lie. You told two different stories, woman. One was she left the phone at the house and that you took it with you to the school. Now, if you knew she left it at the house when it started, why would you call the phone if you have the phone? That makes zero sense, right? Right there is a lie. They told this lady, you get immunity if you tell the truth. She's sitting there lying, right? Now, when we go back and we listen to these interviews, now you're catching it, right? Because we can play them in order like we've been doing and go, okay, well, just the other day, you said this. Now you're saying this, right? And it's just whatever's convenient for her at the time. Like she's making this up as she goes.
Okay.
How am I going to get a hold of her? Because I'm the first in line. The cars behind me already have children. They're full. They're waiting for me to leave.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to kind of jump ahead. Did Madeline ever complain to you about believing that Stephan had taken her Christmas money?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Christmas money went missing. And we were both,
That's crazy. Not only was he SAing this little girl, assaulting this little girl, he was stealing her damn money. That is a bum ass dude there. Now listen, if this happened at Christmas, let's just say this. Say you're dating a man, right? And he steals your kid's money. Are you ever going to let that man back around again and be like, hell, you ain't never coming back. You done stole my damn kid's money. You're a thief, right? I don't want nothing to do with you. But after all this, stealing the kid's money, you know, and sending him into her into a room where there's lubrication, there's napkins where he's been pleasuring himself. There's a camera stand. Did anybody ever think to ask, hey, why do you have a camera stand in your room? Now, I got a camera stand in here, lights and stuff, right? But I'm a damn YouTuber, right? He's not a YouTuber. That's strange things just to have in your bedroom. You got a bottle of damn lotion and a damn camera stand. That don't scream something's wrong to you. I don't know what does. And thank you, Robin. Oh, sweet Lolo. Love you, Dolly. Love you, PJ. I love all you guys too, Robin. It's good to see you. Thank you for your super sticker. Welcome aboard the Dolly train, right? Y'all jump on the train tonight. We riding this bitch off the rails. Okay, we riding it. But trigger warning, touchy subject tonight. Okay.
I don't even know how to explain this. We had collected all of her envelopes with Christmas money and consolidated into one. I'll put all her money into one.
Yep.
And then I said, I will put this somewhere safe. And I thought I had put it in my nightstand. A few days later comes around, whatever. We start looking for it or asking for it or something like that. And we can't find it. We can't find it at all.
So let me just narrow it down. Did she accuse Stephan of taking it?
I'm not sure if she did directly. We both had the suspicion, but we're like, no, could he have? No, I don't think so. But I eventually found that money.
Okay, I was just gonna, how did the mystery end? All right, so you just started this job at Disney Coronado Springs like a week or two earlier, is that right?
Yes.
And your sister and other family members would help with Maddie getting to school because of your job?
Yes, my mom and my sister, yes.
Okay. Why is it that now Stephan on February 26th is coming up to help as opposed to any of your family members helping getting Madeline to school?
Thank you, Rose. Welcome aboard. Come on.
Because I think I was working a lot of night shifts or like.
You're sitting first class tonight, Rose. Make sure you get you a nice window seat. We're serving vanilla ice cream on this train tonight. Okay. Everybody gets them a little double dip of vanilla. Uh-oh, I just did something. Okay, hold on.
Maybe late shifts. And I just wanted the opportunity to see Maddie, like, because
I know, Debbie.
I wanted to spend more time with my daughter throughout the week while I was working, versus had she had stayed at my mom's, I wouldn't have seen her all week.
Okay.
So that was just me wanting to see her and spend time with her.
Did Madeline stay at your mom's house fairly frequently?
Every few weekends here and there, like just for the weekend kind of thing.
So like if she described it to her friends as
Thank
like
you,
her second
Lilith.
home and like kind of offer up it's better jacuzzi and pool, does that sound like that's the place?
Yes.
Where does Madeline sleep when she's over at your mom's?
She will sleep in bed with my mom.
Okay. Did she ever have sleepovers? Like have friends come over and sleep over?
Thank you, Connie.
No.
Did
You
she ever
guys
go
rock.
and attend any?
No.
Is there any particular reason? I mean, she's a 12-year-old girl on the cusp of being 13.
Yeah, I've been very uncomfortable with sleepovers just because I know what can happen. Anything can happen in a sleepover.
Well, then you can.
Hold on. She knows what can happen if Maddie has a sleepover. Yeah, your sick ass boyfriend could hurt one of these other children and they could run tail and the whole circus crumbles, right? She knew what was going on. She 100% knew what was going on. Yet, why was she so worried about, she said she was like suspicious of her sleeping with him and all this, but she made her go do it. Right? She's suspicious to let other little girls stay there because she knew that her and her boyfriend, they want vanilla. They liked small kids. It's disgusting, I know, but hey, listen, these ain't the only people that have done horrible things to small kids, right? So it ain't surprising to me. It ain't like it ain't never happened before. A mother and a boyfriend having relations with their daughter. It has, absolutely.
Can be the host house like we kind of were. You never hosted any sleepovers for her friends?
For her friends, no.
Did she ask about it?
Yeah, she did ask.
Was it probably a source of contention or arguments?
It was I guess what was the source of the argument is her and she wanted to really sleep over her best friend's house, and I just kept saying no, you never know what could happen. I don't know the dad, I don't know the brother, I don't know anybody there.
But you knew to let her go sleep with your boyfriend. It was okay for her to sleep there with somebody that was really hurting her and doing these things to her, but she couldn't go anywhere else. Right. And you know why I think that was? Because I don't think they wanted Maddie telling. They were trying to cut Maddie off from outsiders so she couldn't say anything. She would have been better shape sleeping at a house full of fucking strangers than sleeping in a house with your monster boyfriend and you. Sad as that is.
Like, I don't know what could happen to you. So,
thank you.
Her getting assaulted.
Okay. Did Madeline do her own laundry?
Yeah.
Did she cook for herself?
I was teaching her how to make a few things, so I mean, yeah, she could, I guess.
Okay. What's her normal routine for
prayers for that little
bed?
girl? All right, redact it.
We give her her meds.
I'm sorry, take your time.
I agree. Isolate so she can't tell people. TJ says this lady makes me
I'd give
sick.
her medication. She would get in the shower.
Take a long shower, I understand.
Like an hour plus. Yeah.
Okay.
She
Why you think she was taking such long showers? Maybe to wash some of that, trying to wash her skin off her, probably trying to scrub the skin off herself to get that nasty man off of her. You know, to me, that would have been a sign right there. Like, why are you in the shower so long? What's going on with you? She never questioned her daughter. She never was concerned enough to sit down and have a conversation with her. Hey, is anybody messing with you? Has anybody touched you? I know it's a touchy topic, but this is things people should be asking their kids, right? Each and every one of you, if you got kids or your grandkids, right? Be like, hey, nobody's ever tried to do, you know, if anybody ever tries to do these things, you let me know, you know, you stop them and you let me know. And, you know, that people are creepy and, you know, you got to worry about these things as a parent, a grandparent, a concerned uncle, aunt. You know, it's nothing wrong with questioning a kid a little bit. Hey, how's everything with you? Especially if things seem off or odd. Okay, that's when you really sit down with them. And even when my daughters don't seem like everything's going good with her, I'll sit down and be like, what's going on with you? You fighting with your roommates? You know, and she'll be like, well, me and my friend, we ain't on the best terms. She'll tell me. But if I don't, you know, usually ask, you know, but I can usually tell when something's wrong with her or she's not in a good mood. I'll be like, because usually I ask the first thing I ask her, how's your day going? How's everything been with you? What you been doing today? You know, and she's 24 years old, but I'm still her daddy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm concerned, like, you know, not just about her rent being paid or you paying your bills, but her general life, how she feels, her spirit. You know, if she's down, I want to try to uplift her. So I'm concerned about everything, not just one thing, you know what I'm saying, but everything in her life. You know, I want to be a part of much as I can be. You know, I don't try to overstep my boundaries. She's a grown ass woman. But I figure since this relationship I built with her with a child has been built on honesty, that well, I'd rather you tell me, I won't get mad at you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, just like the other day, she said, Dad, I went to a concert in Richmond and this dude said something smart to me and I was about to go to jail. Right. And I was like, okay, you might get that from me. All right. But I was like, you can't be going to jail. You got to keep your cool. You know, don't pay attention when people say something hateful to you. You know, is that person really worth, you know, you getting in trouble over and me having to come to Richmond to get you ass out of jail, right? And you know, and I said, you know, if you go to jail, you know me, I'm a big jokester. I ain't sending you no canteen. You know, she's never been in no trouble. She's almost like a perfect kid. I don't want to jinx myself, but you know, and she had her mama with her, and now that concerns me because her mama is crazy as me, right? So I'm like, oh Lord. And she was like, yeah, mom cussed a man out. I guess she bumped into him and the dude said something real crappy to her. And then I guess her mom jumped, because she's mama damn crazy. But I told Tiff, I was like, listen, you can't lose your cool over every little thing somebody says. You got to think about your safety. You got to think about how long it's going to take me to Richmond to get behind your ass out of jail, right? Don't get in no trouble. It's not worth it. So you gotta talk to your kids. If they're 10 years old, or like my daughter, 24 years old, the conversation pretty much is still the same thing. How was your day? What you doing? What you up to? Where you going? Where you been? That type of stuff,
Love it. She'd get out, she'd get dressed, she'd let her hair towel dry for a while, and then she would brush it. We would watch some TV. She'd probably have a snack before bed as well.
Okay. What were kind of her nighttime uniforms? I mean, everybody kind of has their pajamas, but they're not necessarily pajamas. What was her routine nightwear?
She really liked wearing shorts. So she had a few pajama outfits, but she really liked wearing shorts and baggy t-shirts.
Okay. How about her routine getting ready for school in the morning? What's that about?
We'd wake up. The alarm would start ringing around 7:30. We'd snooze it up until 8 o'clock. Then she'd get up. She'd get dressed. And then she'd lay back down in bed while she would wait for me to make her breakfast.
So she's a breakfast eater?
Yes.
Okay.
She'd have breakfast. Then she would start, with brushing her hair, brushing her teeth, putting on makeup. I would give her ADHD medications for school.
Is that every day or just school days?
I agree. So many red flags.
So it sounds like you're heading out like 8:45 or 9?
Yes.
And it takes like...
And I also thought she brushed her teeth in the shower, which don't seem odd to me, because that's where I brush my teeth. When I take a shower, I brush my teeth. If I take a shower in the morning, I brush my teeth. When I take a shower at night, I brush my teeth. So I usually brush my teeth in the shower. I know a lot of people use the sink. They go in and brush their teeth and they use the sink. But I am one of those shower people. I do it when I shower. So I was thinking, okay, that sounds normal. That don't sound too far stretched, because I do the same thing. But now she's saying, she's getting ready, she's getting dressed, putting on her makeup, brushing her teeth. Which one is it? Or does she do both? Does she brush her teeth in the shower at night and then brush her teeth at the sink in the morning? Which one is it? But she's kind of described it as she does both.
What did you say, 15, 20 minutes to get to school?
Yes.
And first bell's 9:38?
9:20.
Something like that?
9:20,
Okay.
yeah.
So on Monday the 26th, 7:30 seems like a really early time to depart to go to middle school, even if you're getting Mickey D's. What was the discussion about when Stephan and Madeline were going to leave on the 26th?
There wasn't one.
So you didn't know anything about these plans, or did you? Or
I knew that they were going to go to McDonald's, but not 7 o'clock in the morning. That wasn't.
okay.
I had assumed like 8 o'clock.
And-
But even then, 8 o'clock is kind of early, like 8:30, because you could just go to McDonald's, be done by 9, and then drop her off at school. But the McDonald's is right the block away from the school. So
And Madeline's not driving, so she can eat while she's riding.
Yeah. So I
And she
don't.
takes about an hour to get ready in the morning?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yes.
So if they were leaving at 7:30, you'd think she'd have to get up at 6:30 to get ready and go through a routine, right?
Yeah, it's extremely early.
And is that what Stephan told you after these events unfolded? Was that they left early, like 7:30? What did he ever tell you?
It was early. I can't remember the time. I think I dropped her off in front of her school sometime between 8:15 and 8:45.
You said
See, she said she thinks she dropped her off between 8:15 and 8:45. Listen, the reason she's not in jail, some of these interviews they have given her immunity for. As long as they say she tells the truth and they don't catch her in no lies, that she has immunity. Now, I don't know if they gave her complete immunity in this case yet, You know what I'm saying? Because Stephan Stearns hasn't made the real appearance in court yet. He will soon, and we will be down in Florida covering some of that live. Okay. But definitely, and thank you for becoming a member, guys. Pretty sweet P, new member. Thank you so much. Definitely she needs to be locked up. You know, I think people in Florida should be hitting up the DA and saying, how are y'all letting this lady walk free? You know, and I've also heard this, that the father showed up and she opened the door, handed him the ashes, and shut the door. Okay. Now, as a father, me, myself, if something like this was to occur and you slam that door in my face, I think I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind because I would think you got some explaining to do to me, you know? And Maddie Soto's father didn't get that. He just got the ashes, partial ashes. And, you know, the funeral for her, even though there was a pouring of love for her all over the country, she did it in private with just a few of her close loved ones, allegedly. But, you know, it don't look like the father got to attend the funeral. And what he got was a door slam. He got some ashes and the door slammed in his face, allegedly. That is horrible. That is heartless. And I believe this lady is a monster. I know a lot of people think she's just dumb or stupid or she's a victim herself. And we will have to agree to disagree on that. I believe she is just as responsible as the man that took this little girl's life. Okay. And how she goes back to a normal life or anybody giving her a job or wanting to be involved with her after this, I just don't know. I just don't know.
Say I. What do you mean by that? Did you drop her off that
No,
morning?
I'm speaking, sorry.
Okay.
As what Stephan was telling me. Stephan let me know that he dropped her off sometime between 8:15 and 8:45 on the road by the church.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I remember asking him, why so early? That's too early. School doesn't start until 9:30. Why did you drop her off that early? Oh, I don't know. We just left the house and made good time. I wasn't paying attention to the clock.
Okay. Did Madeline ever have like effects from taking the hydroxyzine in the morning? Like still?
And you noticed that she said in the beginning that she's seen her before school that morning, right? Remember she said she was wearing the shorts and stuff, but she never seen her that day, right? But she was already unalived in Stephan Stearns' car. We know this now, right? So we know her statements are inconsistent.
Be kind of sluggish?
Yes.
How often would that occur? Was that like every morning or not every morning?
Not every morning. If we happen to give her medication later than normal and routine, that would happen. But
Okay. And were there ever any instances where she had taken too much of the medicine? Perhaps you and Stephan had given her medicine, not knowing that the other person had?
yes, that's happened once
How many?
before.
Just once or more?
I want to say one.
Were you taking medicinal marijuana in pill form at any point for THC?
Yes.
And what do those pills or tablets or capsules look like?
They're purple capsules.
Did you ever suspect or confront Stephan about giving those medications to Madeline?
No.
So during this incident where Madeline had been double dosed with hydroxyzine, do you recall any conversation you had with Stephan and inquiring as to whether or not he had accidentally given her any of your THC?
That hadn't occurred to me. I had asked him the one morning Maddie wouldn't wake up and get ready for school, and she was just out of it. I assumed it was medication related, but I didn't realize. I'm like, did this one medication hit her too hard because we gave it to her late? I called poison control. I needed to see what would happen. with at this point, I think I had gotten Stephan to admit that he gave her a second dose of the sleeping meds as well, because he thought I had given it to her in the first place.
Okay, so why didn't you do anything about that? You know, if this man is giving your kid, who allows some dude they're dating to give their child medications, especially these types of medications that could hurt her, or like she's saying, oh, he gave her too much, so I called poison control. Like, why didn't you end that? Why didn't you stop that? Why didn't you do anything about that? Probably the same reason you didn't do anything about the rest of the stuff, because you was involved in it and you were allowing this stuff to happen. Like, it's a shame, guys. I know it is. If there's any mother in this country that should be locked up, it probably, well, there's a bunch of them out there, right? To be honest, there's a bunch of them, but this lady needs to be in jail. No doubt. It is absolutely heart-wrenching what happened to that little girl and for how long it happened. You got to remember, this was going on since she was 8 years old, right? This man was doing these types of things to her 8 years old. And in order to get her phone to play on her phone, she had to perform acts on this man to even play on her phone. Disgusting, sickening, and they should honestly cut his pecker off, okay? When they knew it was him and they could prove it was him, they need a gallows right off the body, okay? So he can never, well, he ain't never going to do it to another person again. It's going to happen to him in prison, right? But he won't never do this to another child and until they execute him anyway.
But that was with hydroxyzine. I didn't know
Thank
anything
you.
about THC, the marijuana.
I'm just asking you.
Oh.
I'm asking if you remember having that conversation, because there is a conversation on your phone about you were relaying that Madeline said that she suspected that it was different bigger pills, and you relayed that to Stephan and had a conversation with him. And if you don't remember it because it was a year ago, that's fine. My next question is, you have 2 female roommates?
Yes.
And one of them has a child, a son that sleeps part-time over there?
Yes.
And so my understanding is they're kind of, it's like a, I don't know what to call it, like a bed and breakfast. There's numbers on the doors upstairs.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, to make it easier for the roommates, I just labeled each bedroom.
So they're in.
Here's the thing. Can you see how it's like a humor in her voice? How like she's not upset. She don't seem sad. She's not crying. Now, listen, I know she's bipolar, but that's still like, just because you bipolar don't mean you have no emotion. It means your emotions jump around, right? 1 minute you could be happy, 1 minute you're mad, right? But she has no emotion towards sadness for her daughter's death or what has happened to her daughter. But if she wants to turn the tears on, she can turn them on like that. She just chooses not to. It's strange. It is really strange. And sometimes I say actions speak louder than words, like behavioral things. Like, you listen, everybody pretty much acts the same. You know, I know there is some differences. People handle grief and different things different ways. But not so odd like this.
2 and 3.
Yes.
All right. Now, bedroom number 4. At one point, you told the police that your sister was staying with you, and that's why the sleeping arrangements were as they were. Was your sister ever staying with you, or did I misunderstand what you said?
No, my sister wasn't staying with me.
Okay. So let me ask you this. At what point did Madeline's bedroom kind of become the living room? When did that setup start?
I think as soon as a few months into us moving back into that townhouse.
And when would that have been?
Let's say June of sometime in 2022, but I'm not sure when.
Okay. It's my understanding that it's December of 2022 that you and Stephan kind of break up,
Yes.
but he still remains in the townhome.
Yes.
Why is that?
So even though we were broken up, I still considered him one of my best friends. I wanted to give him the opportunity to live there, and he had gotten a job at Disney and was doing well.
Okay.
And I didn't want him to continue to lose that because he had been struggling for a long time to get a job or do anything because his own mental health issues.
Okay.
So I just wanted to
Y'all both got some damn mental health issues. She didn't like. She said they broke up, but she continued to let this man live in the house, continued to let the girl sleep in the room with him. I call BS. I call BS on all this. I'm just saying.
give him a chance to like do something, be something. So
Did he pay rent?
yes,
How much rent did he pay?
$600 a month.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Earphone.
No footsies.
Like long legs.
So in December of 2022, kind of when the breakup happens, prior to that, what were the sleeping arrangements in your home?
Yes, we can see you.
Was he sleeping in your bedroom as a couple?
Yes.
So who's in bedroom number 4, if anybody?
I think that room remained empty for a while. For a little bit, there was another roommate there, but it remained empty for the most part.
And were your female roommates already there in 2 and 3?
Yes.
Why doesn't Madeline have that bedroom 4?
I wanted her to have bedroom 4, but my dad really wanted rent. That whole unit that I live in is owned by my father.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you pay your father anything to live there, or does he just handle the collecting the rent from your rentees, lessees, whatever they are?
I pay him rent as well.
Okay. What do you pay for the rent?
My portion of the rent was $400 a month.
All right. And what do the 2 female roommates pay?
$850 and $650.
Okay. Prior to Madeline having her own bedroom set up in the living room, where was she sleeping in that townhome?
In my bed with me.
Okay.
And
this is
Stephan.
during a time frame when you were together with Stephan.
Here's the thing. They would all sleep in the bed together too. Okay. Now, if you only got one room and this is your boyfriend and y'all are sexually active, right? You're having sex with this little girl in the bed. All right. So it ain't like they wasn't having any type of relationship. They were dating with the kid in the bed with them. So to me, this is nasty all the way around. This lady should absolutely be in jail. I don't think they need her as a witness against Stephan Stearns. There's so much against him from the pictures. Just a witness seeing him changing a tire at the scene where the body was discovered. They got pictures of her deceased in the car. So why even cut a deal with this woman, right? They should be charging this woman. We should hear about Jenn Soto being in jail, but yet she's living her best life still.
Stephan, so is it the 3 of you every night?
Well, when we had first moved in, it was just me and Maddie. So it was just me and her on the bed. Then I think we eventually got her own bedroom. Stephan moves in eventually, and then at that point, it does become the 3 of us on the bed.
So Madeline's 12 and she has her own bedroom. And how often is she sleeping in her own bed alone?
Hardly. She doesn't like sleeping alone. And she doesn't like the living room. It's too big, too quiet. She says it'd be too dark and that there would be spiders. She would see spiders, so.
So you say hardly. Were there ever nights where she just slept alone in her bed? Or is it 100%? Because there's a difference between hardly.
Lilith says, I'm here for the ice cream. Okay. Well, make sure you get you a scoop. All right. All right. What you want, chocolate or you want vanilla? All right. I got you.
Ever and 100% to me.
If she ever slept on that bed, it was like once.
Okay. All right. So now you've broken up with Stephan in December of 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
he's still paying rent and he's there full time in bedroom number 4. Is that where he goes after you break up?
No, he stayed in my room for a few months. We had broken up, but we weren't sure how to discuss it with Maddie because it was the middle of the school year, and I didn't want to affect her in any way.
Mhm.
So we just played it off. Acted like everything was normal and fine for the first 6 months. And then eventually she caught on. And then once she did, we admitted to her that we were broken up. And then, at that point is when he moved up to bedroom 4.
Okay. And once he moved up to bedroom 4, were there instances where Madeline would sleep alone upstairs with him?
That's disgusting. You ever notice right before she's about to tell her bullshit lie or say something she don't want to say, she takes this really deep breath, like, and then she says what the hell she's going to say, but she does it every time. Listen, some people have telltale signs of deception and things like that. And this is one of those things she's constantly doing when it's incriminating her and she knows she's about to sound fucking terrible. She hits that deep breath. You know what I'm saying? Like, lady, like, oh my God. Don't you just wish you could reach through the internet and grab somebody and shake the shit out of them? Right? Like, wow. Look, I'm so blessed to have the mother I had. You know, I just feel so blessed. Like some of these people, especially with, these missing kid cases that I cover, and you see the disconnects, right? And I find the similarity in a lot of these mothers. They're not connected to their kids. I'm just, I look at it like I'm glad my mom didn't smother me, kill me, throw me off a river, throw me in the trash. And I was a hellion kid, a handful, right? I would pluck your fucking nerves, right? But no, nobody ever hurt me. They always took care of me and made sure I was safe. I feel blessed now. When I look back at it, I go, well, wow, but it was a different time too, a different era than we live in now, where people are so selfish and they only care about themselves. I think I came from an era where women had that motherly instinct, like mama bear. You mess with my kid, I will chew you up. The only one that could put their hands on me was my mother. Anybody else, oh, she would go crazy, right? But her, if she thought she had to, punish me, she was one of those people. She was old school. She believed in the switch. And let me tell you this, that switch will straighten your ass out quick. Okay. I don't care what problem you got. A switch can fix it. Okay. Right. Whatever you're doing wrong, you only do it wrong once. Right. Cause you can hear that shit cut through the wind and it don't hurt for a minute. That shit be hurting for a couple days. Okay. You know what you did for a couple days. You learn fast. Right. And I thank God for that, because I grew up still saying, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I hold the door for you. I treat people like I think they should be treated. And that's because I still remember that switch still to this day. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then when I hear something cutting through the wind, I think I did something wrong. Right. But it's a different area. You hit your kid with a switch now, your ass will go to prison. Okay. But I believe I'm a good person I am today, because some of the ass whippings I took, I had to learn the hard way, because I was a little bit of a knucklehead. And, and my mom was a tiny lady, but let me tell you, when she swung that switch, you would have thought she was the size of Andre the Giant. Okay.
I'm going to say,
I want you to think carefully before you answer, because obviously we've gone through your phone and we've seen all the conversations that you've had with Stephan. So it's clear that that's occurring. So I'm giving you the chance to answer the question.
yeah, I'm just,
I see people say they had to pick their own switch. Right. Let me tell you. Now, if you went and brought my mom a switch that would break, okay, and anybody that's been whipped with a switch, the bigger the stick is, the less it hurts. the smaller it is, the more it'll cut through your jeans. Okay. It will literally cut through your jeans. So if you brought her one that would break, she would pick 7 little switches. Okay. Right. Little thin ones. And the worst thing you want to get hit with, and I know this firsthand because, I took a few ass whippings as a kid. You do not want to get hit with them thin little switches. You don't want it. So don't bring one back that breaks. All right. You go pick your own switch. Right. But if it breaks, then it's a different story. Okay. So you had to be like, okay, well, this is big and fat enough that I might be able to take it. And, it's the whole hold one hand. So when you go, because listen, there's no way you're going to get hit with a switch and you ain't going to try to run. It's a natural instinct, right? So your ass is getting whipped in a circle. Wow! And you just running in circles, taking the licks, right? Hey, but like I said, I think it made me the polite, decent human being that I am today. Okay. I didn't end up in prison. I didn't murder nobody, kill nobody. I still remember the switch, though. It's one of those things that you'll never forget.
I figure out how many times it's happened.
Okay. Why are you allowing that to occur?
I saw Stephan as someone that I completely trusted with my life, my child's life. I thought he had cared for her as a father would. He had been in her life for more than half of it, playing the father role. I thought he cared for her the way I did.
Now, does there come a point in time in 2023 where you've kind of had enough of roommate ex-boyfriend Stephan and ask him to hit the road?
Yes.
And is that fair to say it was like October?
Maybe, yeah, like the end of October, because then I gave him all of November and told him he had to be out by December 1st, kind of thing. But yeah, that sounds about.
Yeah, but see, anytime you've ever been whipped with a switch, when somebody hits you with a belt is a joke. Okay, like it don't even hurt. If you've been whipped with a switch and somebody hits you with a belt, that belt takes up so much room. It's when it don't take up if the little bit of it hits you, the worse it hurts. Like you could back in the day, if you whipped me with a kid with a belt, I'd have laughed at you. Okay, because the belt don't have the same effect unless you bust somebody upside the head with a belt buckle. Then that's child abuse. You know what I'm saying? But the belt never had the same effect that a switch was. As a kid, I never feared a belt. Okay, I feared the switch for sure.
All right.
And then did you kind of ask him to leave a month earlier and it was a source of arguments?
Yes.
Okay. So now at this point in time when he's being asked to leave, have you had any conversation with Maddie that mommy isn't together with Stephan anymore and this is kind of the ways of the world? Do you have that conversation with her?
She had by
Thank you.
June. She figured it out already, so she knew we weren't together or anything like that. So she, by December, yeah, she had already known he was leaving, and
Okay.
But that was okay.
Why is he coming back to visit after he's out?
We're still friendly with each other at this point. Christmas is coming up, and we wanted to spend Christmas together. So he comes up for a few days during Christmas, and then he does visit a few more times after that, but for the day, and it's to pick up packages. He keeps getting mail delivered to my house, packages, so he just comes up and picks them up.
I agree.
And when he comes to visit after he's been kind of kicked out, is he paying rent or how is this working, or is he just coming to visit?
He's just coming to visit.
Is your father making any arrangements to rent bedroom number 4? Because this is his income that he's losing.
Yeah, we had it. We had like an ad. posted to see if we can get any renters. So we were trying to rent it out, but then we had to stop.
And what happens if you had ended up renting room number 4? Is Stephan gonna still come up and visit you and sleep in your bed?
Yes.
I don't know. I hadn't even thought of it at that point.
At one point, you told investigators that Stephan was quote unquote stuck down there until they could afford for him to come back. Were there plans for him to come back?
We had discussed him coming back.
Thank you, Nina.
And living with me. We weren't sure if temporarily or like for me to help him out with the place for a little bit before he can find his own place and move out. Or we were also considering talking about living together as like a companionship. And with my best friend who's helping me out with my child.
Because you told investigators that a lot of the reason your relationship fizzled off with Stephan was that your antidepressants.
Okay, now they're muting it. This is redacted because they're going into medicine.
You had moved on to other people, had you not?
Yes.
And so despite having moved on with other people, you were still having Stephan come up and visit, and there were plans to cohabitate with him again, potentially.
Possibly, yes.
So she was just getting her freak on with everybody. She was dating the other dudes on the side, and she's still bringing him in to sleep with her, and possibly Maddie. It is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Maddie had the opportunity to go visit her biological father in the fall out in Texas. Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember texting the biological father, hope nobody touches Maddie or tries shit or films her under the bathroom? You remember sending that text?
Why would she say that? That's because, see, I'm going to tell you why. Because that's a guilty conscience. We know Stephan Stearns was filming the roommates under the door, right? And that was Jenn Soto's roommate, the female roommates. He was filming them under the door. He'd put his camera down low so he could see under the crack of the door. Why would she say that to the biological father? Hope nobody touches her. Nobody does this. Is like, were they going to pin something on him? To me, that is like a telltale sign of somebody that's, you're doing it so you think everybody does it, right? Sadie, thank you. Dolly got to eat. God bless. Not much. Hey, every penny counts. It all adds up. Thank you so much, Sadie. That is awesome of you. Paula, thank you guys. Welcome on the Dolly train tonight. I know what we're going over is bad. It's really bad. But thank you guys for being here with me. Thank y'all for caring and wanting justice for this little girl just as bad as I do. And you know me, I'm an eye for an eye kind of person. I believe this man should get the death penalty 100%. Like, he should have already been gone off this planet. They should have done sliced his junk off and then chopped his head off with it. Both heads. Okay. He should have lost both heads. And we gotta, as a country, as a society, we can't let people sit on death row for 25, 30 years until the laws change and then they don't execute people. I think when you do something this heinous, your ass should be executed within 3 years. Okay. 3 years. We give you a appeal. We give you the fair court. You know what I'm saying? We let you get your jury or your peers. We give you a second chance. We give you the appeal. And when you lose both of those, they should take your ass out back, put you on that gurney, lethal inject you, however you choose to be executed. I know they give Alabama, put your ass in the gas chamber still. Okay. Last person they executed, I heard it was brutal. All right. I would like to have been there to see it, to be dead honest with you. I know that's disgusting, but to me, when a monster loses its life, I think the world is a better place. That's just my opinion. I know some people disagree with me because a lot of people think, well, Dolly, what about the innocent people that get executed? Well, shit, sometimes you got to crack a couple eggs and make an omelet, right? Okay. I mean, it happens. It shouldn't. We got to make sure that don't. If there's any doubt, we don't execute. Okay. We just put you in prison till we figure it out. But when we know for a fact you've done it, there's pictures of it, there's videos of it, and there's witnesses of it, and you need to go. You need to get off this planet. You need to go colonize Mars at this point. Okay, let's strap you to SpaceX rocket on the outside. And if you survive, then, you know, we let you colonize Mars. Okay. But if not, you just done. I have no sympathy for these people. And people are like, how could you watch somebody be executed? Easy. You think they cared when they were killing the people and hurting the people they were hurting? Why should I care? Right? You're a monster. I lived my whole life loving people. These people are what I consider the devil. Okay. And every devil you can take off this planet, get rid of them.
No.
All right, redact it, this part. Yes, it's projection. You know, she told the father, I hope nobody touches. Why would you say something like that? Thank you, Mel Crow.
Orange County Sheriff's
Thank you
Office
so
back
much.
in February?
No.
Welcome aboard.
Because that seems like a very oddly specific thing to text the father. So you didn't know anything about what was going on filming underneath bathroom doors?
No idea. I don't know why I would have texted them.
Because Stephan Stearns was doing that. He was filming under the doors, trying to get little nudie shots of the roommates. And just, he was a creeper. He was a weirdo. Okay.
June 16th of last year, about 9:30 p.m.
Oh, actually, I can't actually think back to that.
Okay.
I think around the time that Maddie was going to fly out to.
Oh, I would definitely watch Adam Montgomery be executed too. Okay. I would give him the shot. You know what he did? Right. Listen, this is a little off topic, but you do know I was in the courthouse in what damn state is it? New Hampshire. Okay. I flew up to Boston, drove into New Hampshire. I sat in through the Adam Montgomery case. And I know this is off topic, but listen, you know, they put this baby in a bag, like a duffel bag, and they put it in the ceiling of the fit shelter. Okay. And Harmony Montgomery leaked all over the ceiling, her insides, blood, and it had soaked into the tiles of the ceiling tiles. So what they did was they cut out the ceiling, right? And they wrapped it all in plastic and they put it in a big cardboard box and they brought it into the courtroom. All right. So this is when I seen it. Like every juror stood up. Everybody in the whole courtroom went quiet as a ghost. I seen so many tears fill people. I couldn't even hold the tears back. Okay. I couldn't even stop them. I was trying to, cause you know, court TV's filming and you know, I don't want to be on you. You know, I got haters. They're going to have tears rolling down my face. I couldn't help it. There was no stopping the tears. You could smell it. And it was just right then I was like, this dude needs to be executed. They need to drag. He wouldn't show up to court. He had put his emotion in where he didn't have to be there. They should have drugged this dude out back and strapped him to the electric chair right there. Firing squad, stone him to death. I don't give a damn. But I knew right then I was like, yo, he's done. I mean, you seen the look on, I mean, men, women, but nobody could take it. No, I mean, even the judge looked like, oh my God. It was one of them. It was one of those moments. Like, I'll probably never forget that in my life, the rest of my life anyway. Poor Harmony Montgomery, poor girl. And Kayla Montgomery, you need to be sitting in prison right now.
Houston, there had been an airline person.
I'm from Alabama and firmly believe in the DP. Amen. Granny, I'm right with you.
Thinking, I don't want Maddie. I'm afraid of Maddie being alone on a plane because what if an attendant does that?
Absolutely.
Hold on, let me do something in the bathroom. And in reality, they're setting up a camera because this did happen to a girl.
Okay.
So,
and thank you, Granny Bassmaster, for jumping on the train tonight. And, you know, I know you're an eye for an eye person like me. You know, you do something horrible in this world, we got to get rid of you. Listen, we're getting overpopulated anyway. We need room for all the good people. And if we get rid of some of these bad people, it just makes more room, right? It just makes more room.
I want to say it may have been concerns over that.
Okay. Now, June 16th of last year at 9:30 p.m.
Yes.
27 seconds, You texted Stephan
Yes.
this. Maddie's no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it.
There
What
you
does that
go.
mean?
Maddie is no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it. She can't risk getting caught. Right? Can anybody explain to me what that can mean that's good? She can no longer sleep with me. I can't risk it. Like maybe her urges to mess with her own daughter. Is it something like that? Because listen, guys, that's what it sounds like to me, that she couldn't fight these urges. And we, in this world we live in, we have sexual deviants, and maybe she's one of them. Listen, these monsters don't just come in men, they come in women too, right? I know usually it's men that are sickos and crazies and do these things, but listen, every now and then there's, and it's getting worse with crazy women. I I know most of my viewers are women, but there's more crazy women now than I can remember. Usually when somebody did something super heinous, it was always a man, right? But now, shit, it's a lot of women that are doing this. I just, before I came live, I watched a story about a babysitter that was babysitting this little girl, and she basically called the hospital 911 and said the baby had fell off a slide. Okay. And basically this kid had a fractured skull. Her spleen was severed. Her liver was split. Right. And they arrested a woman, charged her and her husband with second-degree murder, different counts of child abuse and things like that. And, well, of course she denied it. She never put her hands on the kid, but there were some video cameras that were in her house that showed differently, that the babysitter had basically beat this little girl to death at 2 years old. It happened back in 2020. Horrible story. I don't know why I watch this stuff, but just like true crime is my life. It's becomes, even when I'm not live, I'm watching things that are pretty hard. I probably should stop watching some of this stuff. Maybe my life would be a little bit better, but I can't help it. It's one of those things that, like, I can't believe people could do some of this stuff. And I just, the only reason I watched it so long is because I wanted to see the outcome, what type of justice was served. They didn't get the death penalty. They got charged with second-degree murder. Of course, they're never getting out of prison. But is that really justice? Is that really justice? That's my question.
How often was Maddie sleeping with you?
Often, all the time.
Well, you keep on saying often versus all the time. Was it 100% of the time or not 100% of the time?
If she wasn't with my mom and she was with me, then yeah, she was sleeping with me.
And if she's at mom, she's 100% of the time sleeping with mom? Your mom?
With my mom, or she does have her own room, I guess. Like there's another spare room she could use, but for the most part, she prefers to sleep with my mom.
Okay. Now, my understanding is that you had some sort of period tracker that you kept track of Madeline's period with?
I had a calendar app that I would write what days she would get her period, yeah.
And obviously, Madeline doesn't have a job, so she's not going out.
Thank you, FBI Black SUV. Says, so glad that you and PJ are back on the train. Well, PJ's asleep on the train. She has to get up for work real early. I'm going to sleep in a little bit so I can be here with you guys. Nikki, thank you so much for jumping on the train. You sit in first class tonight, and you get a free scoop of vanilla ice cream. I'm playing.
Buying the products that she would need if she had her period, right? You would have to do that for her? Mm-hmm. Is that a yes?
Yes.
So do you remember her using any of those products at all in February? Because I assume you take the trash out, or does she take the trash out, or how does all this work?
I take the trash out. In February, no, I didn't notice her using any of her feminine hygiene products.
Did you have any conversations with her about that?
No, but I didn't notice until after everything.
Because it would have been due like at the beginning of February, and this all happens at the end of February, so she's almost due again in March. So you never had any conversations with her about not having her period at the beginning of February?
No, she's had other periods that have been missed or like super.
A better question would have been, you've never talked to your daughter about being sexually active. Okay, that's one of those questions, you usually sit down and you tell your kids, listen, I ain't trying to be a grandparent at, a young grandparent, if, and explain the birds and the bees and protection and things like that and see if they are sexually active. Like if you don't ask, you may not never know, right? So you got to ask your child these things. I know it's a tough conversation. It's kind of hard to get to that, right? But you need to be open and honest with your child. And the more open and honest you are, the more open and honest they're going to be with you.
Late, so I just assumed this was going to be one of those situations again.
Okay.
But no, I didn't.
Did you ever discuss her periods or lack of periods with Stephan?
I don't think so.
It's my understanding that Maddie had to take Miralax. I'm familiar with that myself because of my daughter when she was little. So she had constipation issues?
Yeah.
Would it ever cause her discomfort, physical pain, bleeding?
Yes.
And how are you aware of that?
She would tell me. There have been moments. So we've gone to doctor's appointments. They've run a lot of tests on her. They told me why her body is doing what it's doing. But she's shown me if there was blood or if she's in the bathroom.
Well, we never got complete autopsy results because she was a minor and they would have had to been released by Jenn Soto. So we didn't even know when technically there was a funeral for for Maddie Soto, because Jenn didn't inform anybody. It ain't like she opened it up to the public. So this is information that couldn't be released. Okay. It could only be released by the parent, and Jenn Soto was the parent, and Jenn Soto never wanted this stuff released.
And she just can't go, like it's stuck.
Mm-hmm.
She showed me that too. So
Did she ever specifically seek treatment for tears or bleeding or anything due to her bowel movements?
no, I don't think so. Tears or anything like that, no. I don't think there was ever a tear.
Okay. On February 26th, the whole purpose of Stephan coming and taking Madeline to school was so that you could get some sleep. You had missed your medication Saturday night, so on and so forth, right?
Yes.
Is there any particular reason Stephan couldn't have driven your car to take Madeline to school and therefore not embarrass her and he could just drop her off normally?
Yes, but because he's not on my car insurance, I was very nervous to let him drive my car.
But you didn't have no problem when he drove it after he went back to check on her body. You know that, right, guys? That, he drove her car. He left that night after dumping Maddie where he did, and he went back to the scene of the crime. But this time he went back in Jenn Soto's car. She had no problem with him driving the car. Then, remember, the day after they were kicked out the house, he took the car then and went to the storage unit. So he was driving her car all the time. Now she's going to make it like, oh, well, I didn't like him driving my car because he wasn't on my insurance. But you let him drive it every other fucking time. This lady's full of crap and needs to be in prison.
You did let him drive your car after this occurred, though, right?
Yep.
Yes, but he was very insistent because he wanted to go look for Maddie, and he had a spare on his car because he had a flat, so he couldn't drive his car. So he just really wanted to go out. So I just let him, but I wasn't comfortable with it.
During your previous interviews, and you did it once today, you kind of interchanged I, we, or Stephan dropping Madeline off at school. Did you see Madeline at all on February 26th?
Jenn deserves to be in prison. Choo choo. Absolutely. See how she lets the story work for her? Well, I didn't do it. Let him do this because of my insurance. But he was persistent. Well, he wasn't persistent any other times. He was just taking your shit. Right? So, and listen, if he's going out looking for your daughter, why wouldn't you have went with him? Okay? Why wouldn't you have went with him looking for your daughter? Why did you never go look for your daughter? Right? Because you knew where she was at. You don't look for shit that ain't missing. You didn't go. What mother would sit by and go, okay, yeah, you go look for her. I'm going to sit here and smoke this and chill and live my best life while you go look for my daughter. No, I would have been right in the car with my baby's mama. Like, let's go see if we can find her, So to me, it's more bullshit. It's just more lies, more covering for herself. This lady's a monster, guys. I truly think she is a monster. And if you're just tuning in and you're just coming in, I know there's like 655 of you here now. Make sure, my late night people, it's 1 o'clock in the morning here on the East Coast, that y'all give this video a like. It helps in the algorithm. It helps bring in new people, new ideas, new concepts, new theories. And I can't do it alone. I need your help. So just make sure y'all smash that like button for me. Leave your DNA all over it.
2024, that Monday.
No.
Do you know anything about how she died?
No.
Did Stephan tell you anything about how she died?
No.
Did Stephan tell you about his plans to go back down to Northport in your car that Wednesday morning? Got any questions, Mark? I'm getting close.
I'm going to jump through because I was making notes as we were going on. So how frequently did Stephan come up here after he moved back to Northport?
Lick it.
How many times total do you think he came back here?
2 to 3 times.
Do you remember if those were around specific dates?
One was like the week of Christmas. I can't remember when the other one was.
Was Stephan in town the week or two prior to this last time he came?
I don't remember. It's possible that I don't remember. Everything is becoming a blur.
Do you remember sending him a text message asking if he can babysit Maddie while you go have lunch with your friend?
This was a few weeks before.
I agree with that right there too.
I remember going out a few weeks before. I don't remember asking him to babysit. I don't know where he was.
Did you ever go to lunch with your friend and he babysat her?
I did go to lunch with my friend, but I don't think he was here. I think Maddie stayed home alone for a few hours.
Okay. When you mentioned Maddie caught on about you guys being broke up, how did that happen? What did she say? Or
I forgot. Me and Stephan were having a conversation, and she goes, "Are you guys broken up?" And we kind of looked at her. And we're like, "Why do you ask?" She goes, "Because you guys are kind of acting like you're broken up. You guys haven't hugged and kissed in a long time." And we're like, "Okay." So we just kind of.
how do you think she felt about that?
Fine. She didn't act sad or happy or anything. You're just like, whatever.
All right. Now you mentioned to me before too that you found her phone on her dresser in like her little bedroom area. Does she have a specific spot where she plugs in her phone to try? How does she charge her phone?
Somebody, I'm not victim blaming. I'm just stating my opinion. I wasn't there. And in my opinion, what she's saying don't add up. It's a ton of inconsistent statements. She still hasn't denounced this man. And she basically served her daughter up to a monster on a silver platter, which makes her a monster, in my opinion. Now, if you think she's an innocent victim, you have the right to your opinion. I don't hate you for that. So don't hate me for thinking she's a monster. All right? Dolly loves you.
So on her side of my bed, she's got a long charger. She'll connect it there to charge. Don't know how she charged it that night though. Don't know if she took her charger and moved it to the room upstairs. Not sure.
How do you charge your phone?
I charge my phone with my charger next to me on my side of the bed.
Okay, is it one that you plug in or
The magnetic one.
okay? Now, when you go to bed at night, is there any kind of routine that you do with your phone? If you're texting, looking on TikTok or whatever, and you go to bed, you just set your phone down and go to sleep, or what's that routine like?
I'll TikTok until I start dozing off, and then I'll put my phone on the charger, make sure my alarm's on, and then just lay down, close my eyes, and hope not to think of too much, just fall asleep.
Okay, that night, Saturday or Sunday.
I'm not doing the same thing to Seth because I don't believe Seth is responsible for the death of his kids. So you're absolutely wrong there. Apparently you don't watch me because you would know that I've said 1,000 times. I don't think Seth has anything to do with the disappearance of his kid. I said Seth is an opportunist, that he took the money and stopped searching for his kid and surrounded himself by bad people. So don't come in here spreading information that's not true. If you want to come in here and have a normal conversation, make sure you come correct with the right information. All right?
Night, when you guys, when spending this half hour of time together, was all you were doing was talking about gifts and counting her money, or were you guys doing anything else?
Just asking her for more details about the party and to tell me like what I missed. She seemed like she had a really good time.
When you got home from work that day, where were...
Okay, well, we're going to have to just agree to disagree there. All right. But if you don't like my opinion on it, you don't have to watch me. There's an exit. You can go watch somebody else that you agree with. But you're watching somebody you disagree with and think is victim blaming. All right. Go watch somebody that you think ain't. All right. I'm not twisting your arm to be here. Okay. You know what they used to say back in the day? Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. All right. So if you come to argue with me, there's nothing to argue about. We just have a difference in opinion. I don't get mad at people that have a difference in opinion than me. All right. It's just, you're watching my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, go watch somebody that's opinion that you do enjoy. Okay. I hope you have a great night doing it.
Where was everybody?
I think everyone was in my room, hanging out in my room.
Okay. Everybody meaning...
Maddie and Stephan were in my room. Sorry.
All right. Now it's obvious that you and Stephan communicate via text message and phone calls and stuff like that. What is Google Meet?
What is Google Meet? That is like Google's version of FaceTime. So just face chatting.
Okay.
Video chatting.
Okay. When her birthday party was planned, was this planned before you got your job or after?
The birthday party?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was planned before. Because once I saw my schedule and I saw that it was during a training day, and I wasn't.
Thank you, sweet Giants. Thank you.
Rescheduling the party, but my family was insistent to just keep it that day. I said, okay.
All right, so Stephan moves out of his room, and I think you mentioned that your dad had plans on renting that room again to somebody else. Is that right?
Yeah.
How was that room set up?
Thank you, Liz.
How was Stephan's room set up
You're
after he moved out?
Pretty much the same. The bed was in the same location. The TV, the dresser, the desk, and the mini fridge.
Don't forget to click the like on the way out.
Was the bed, and did it have comforter, blankets, and all that stuff on it, or?
When he moved out, everything was empty. There was a mattress.
She knew, no question. She is a sick bee. Lilith, I think we're on the same page, right? Listen, I don't believe there's anybody this stupid on the planet. Okay. I truly don't. Especially when you suspect that something bad could happen. You mentioned the whole Woody Allen effect, and You're worried about your daughter falling in love with the man, but yet you could let him go sleep in the same bed with him while he's on Viagra and has a damn camera stand in the room. You never went, hey, why do you have a camera stand in the room? What are you recording? And that never crossed her mind, and then she has selective memory. And every time she goes to say something that's incriminating about herself, she's like, well, I just thought everything would be okay when I told my daughter to sleep in the room with him multiple times. Nah, that don't fly. There's a lot of mothers in this room. There's a lot of women in this room that know better, right? I know better, and I'm dumb as a damn rock. Okay. So motherly instinct should kick in. And that is something you ladies are born with, that compassion, that love and caring heart. And any real woman would have knew better than this. Okay. Any of you guys in my chat, y'all would have knew better than to allow something like this to happen. And I'm confident in that because I've talked to you guys enough to know that y'all would not have allowed shit like this to go down on your watch.
Protector cover on it. But I had clean sheets and clean blankets to put on, like they're available. So
Where were they available?
in the closet.
Okay.
And
Thank you, Lilith.
Yeah. I let them know they were there.
Do you know if he made the bed?
I don't know, but I'm going to assume he. I don't know.
What did the blankets look like
Since she was 8 years old.
that would be used to make that bed?
They would be white cotton linen sheets with. They're white, but they're white stripes, different shades of white. So white stripes going down it. That was a fitted cover, then a sheet, and then the pillowcases.
You got to take care of yourself, Shauna. And just for the record, I found this new place that I'm getting meals from. It's called Healthy Eats. It's no additives, no preservatives. Everything's made with fresh foods. And for the last 2 days, I've been eating from there. And I'm supposed to go in and meet with their meal planner and, tell them which foods I like. And they're going to start preparing meals, healthy meals for me. It's a little bit expensive, but it is what it is. I got to eat healthy or, I don't want to go back through the same stuff I've been going through. So I don't do a lot of cooking. So this place I found, they prepare your meals, but you got about a whole week's worth of meals at one time. And then you just kind of, heat them up. But I had 2 different ones from them and they were pretty good. So I'm going to go meet with these people, I believe Monday, and sit down and do like a meal plan with them. And just to try to, I've given up soda. I've given up smoking, herbs, right? I stopped smoking cigarettes 3 years ago. And I've, the whole soda thing, stopped drinking soda. I've been eating fruit for lunch and better breakfasts. So I've been trying to take the best care of myself as I humanly can. I'm trying to stretch this out a little bit. I want to be around for a minute, just a little bit anyway. I'm not ready to go yet. So take your health seriously, guys. I never really did because I wasn't a big person. I didn't think I had to. I thought I could eat anything I want. I thought only big people and people that were really out of shape had heart attacks. I didn't know you could be me and just fall over, right? I just, and then bringing me back to life. I got a second chance and I want to make the best of this second chance and take care of myself. I realized, hey, life is precious. I'd rather be here with you guys than eat a steak. Okay. A greasy ass steak anyway. And as I'm eating healthier, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So I'm trying to continue down that path, but thank you guys so much for all the prayers and hoping I get better. I still have a long journey. I still do. I still have a little bit of pain from the stuff I underwent. I'm still taking lots of medicines. I got lots of doctor's appointments coming up and, hopefully everything goes good. There's going to be more x-rays done on my heart and my chest and things like that. And I'm just praying with you guys that, when they come back and tell me, that I'm going to be okay and I'm going to be here with you guys for a good long time. And Dr. Latina, she has been, you're a blessing yourself. Dolly, you are an inspiration to your healthy journey. I've been trying my best, guys. Just know that, right? I went and bought organic foods and fruits. I've never done that a day in my life. I never said, well, let me go shop in the organic section and let me stop eating processed foods, because a lot of people say that these processed foods are so terrible for you that, I've went out and bought stuff to make, chicken with olive oil and just different ways to cook my meals that are way more healthier than the way I was eating before. A regular night for me was fried chicken, mashed potatoes, some mac and cheese with a ton of gravy. I'm drinking 15 sodas a day, and I seen firsthand what that can do to you. It almost took me out of this world. Scariest thing I ever went through. I don't want to experience that again. So it's changed my lifestyle, changed my diet, and just try to be as healthy as I can. And I appreciate so much all the love and support. And Dr. Latina, thank you so much for thank you for the super stickers, guys. Y'all are absolutely the best. And come on the Dolly train. You're driving tonight. Okay. You're driving tonight. And thank you so much for all you've done for me. That is super awesome of you. Like I said, I'm going to be going through this cardio rehab here soon. And it's still a little scary because, my first checkup's coming since the stent in my heart. I just want to make sure everything's good. I'm still a little paranoid, anxiety, stuff like that. So I'm not, I'm back here on YouTube, but I'm not 100% yet. I want you guys to know that. You'll know when Dolly's, I'll be jumping around, right? But I've been trying to stay cool, calm, collective, relaxed, not overdoing it. Those types of things. I know a lot of people worry about me being up here on YouTube, but I'm just sitting here talking to you guys. I'm not doing anything strenuous. I'm following all my doctor's orders, So thank you guys for the prayers. And I think a lot of them prayers helped me get through that hard time, not so scared, because I truly believe I had 100%, I had an army behind me. And when you got that many people behind you, the man upstairs hears that stuff, and I'm glad to be here with you. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to end it at that.
And there should have been like a warm blanket in the closet somewhere.
The same color, white or
Maybe gray.
Okay. When you say there's pillowcases, how many pillows were on the bed?
I'm not sure. I know that we had taken things out of that room before. I don't know if we used those pillows. I'm not sure what pillows were up there.
Okay. Did you ever go into the room
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you.
after you discovered that she was missing? Did you go upstairs to that bedroom? No. Okay. So when you go to sleep in your room, and you're either with Maddie or without Maddie or with Stephan, is your door open, closed, lights on, lights off?
When I go to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a cat. I can't shut the door. I have to leave it cracked.
Mm-hmm.
So it stays cracked with a little door stopper
Mm-hmm.
behind it so it doesn't open all the way, because my cat will just knock it over. Yeah, but we sleep with the door cracked.
Okay, lights on, lights off.
Lights off with a YouTube video playing in the background, playing rain sounds.
Okay, would the screen be illuminated, or is it something where a screen, like a phone, where the screen goes black and it still plays?
It goes black, yeah. So.
Okay.
I thought you was already a member, but welcome.
Do you remember it that night if you were listening to those YouTube videos, or?
Probably was. I listen to it every night, so I probably was.
Does it shut off automatically?
Around like 4 or 5 a.m. But then
Yes, since this interview is about to wrap up here in just a few, and yes, I'm going to take some of your guys' calls on this before I crash out tonight. So we'll probably be here to roughly about 2 Eastern Standard Time. So we got about 50 minutes. There's about 10 minutes left. Let's see. No, there's only about 3 minutes left in this interview that she gives. And then, of course, we're going to open up the phone lines. And I'm going to discuss it with you guys. All right.
I'll notice and I'll press play again.
Okay. Is it fair to say that you're easily woken up or no? By sounds like that, or?
I'm sure I'm easily woken up.
I'm absolutely sorry to hear about your brother. Yes, people are having heart attacks younger and younger. And like, listen, I didn't know too much about it. So I've been trying to do research on YouTube, about, the heart stuff, but every doctor's different. Everybody tells you to eat this and that and this and this. There's no real clear path. I just noticed that a lot of this stuff is blamed on the foods these days, processed food, too much sugar, and so I've cut out a lot of the sugar. I'm trying to cut out the processed foods. Like I said, I'm going to a meal planner Monday to sit down with them to make sure, and everything they do, like I said, they don't add it. There's not a bunch of sodium, salt stuff in it. It's all fresh foods, fresh vegetables. And for the last 2 nights, that's what I've been eating from this. And it's I'll show you their logo, and they have like I don't know if it's a national thing. I know it's local here in Virginia. I went and met with them the other day, and they were super awesome. I said, listen, yeah, I need healthy foods. I need stuff that's not loaded with salt and all these different spices, and and they gave me 2 meals to take with me, absolutely free. They were like, here, take this with you. Try it. Try this. Tell us some of the things you like. Come in. We'll sit down together. We'll make a list, and we'll start preparing you healthy meals that'll make sure that you're, it's not messing you up on the insides. The things that, to help you along this path, plus with the medicines you take. And let me tell you guys, the new medicines they got me on, my blood pressure has been perfect. Like every time I take it, it's perfect. And I've always had super high blood pressure. Like the damn cuff pop off your arm. Like, yo, bro, you about to have a heart attack high. Right. But now my blood pressure is perfect. It's just like perfect. Every time I take it, it's pretty much been perfect, which is good. That's good to see. Each day I'm getting a little bit of my strength back. I still have occasional little pain, like a little, and I'm going to be checking in with my doctor to make sure, all that's normal. But yeah, I just, eating healthy is really, really important. What your body consumes, right? Like all these saturated fats. And I have to educate myself because I didn't know all this stuff before. I'm not a nutritionist. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here that are paid to be nutritionists, right? Like, and I'm going to sit down with them and they're going to say, hey, what do I need to eat to keep me healthy, keep my strength, but yet not kill me? And here's the worst part of it. And this is the truth. To eat healthy is expensive. Okay. To eat like shit is absolutely cheap, right? It ain't that cheap anymore because inflation, but to eat healthy, just buying fruits. Like I went and bought some fruits the other day, strawberries, different plums, just different things to eat for lunch, watermelon, different things. It was $200. Okay. I was like, good Lord, right? You could eat a cheeseburger for $3. And, but to eat healthy is expensive. And I don't want to get to where I haven't been doing any cheating, right? Like I haven't been drinking soda. I haven't been drinking like sweet teas. I have been drinking a little bit of lemonade with a little bit of sugar in it. But I figure since I cut out all sugar pretty much in my soda that I need a little bit of sugar anyway. You need some of these things in your body to operate. So I've been drinking a little bit of lemonade, not so much lemon juice, but lemonade. But for the most part, it's water, Fiji water, right? Just water. In the morning, I eat like a little bit of raisin bran, and at lunch, I've been eating fruits and vegetables like salad or fruit. And then at night, like I said, the last couple nights, I've been eating these meals that come from I forget the name of the place now. I'll tell y'all later, but it's a place that serves nothing but pre-made healthy foods.
I don't know.
Thank you, Liz.
Okay. Now, the purpose of you telling or having Maddie sleep with Stephan upstairs is because you told me before that you needed a good night's sleep.
That's it. Healthy Eats. Thank you for reminding me. It's called Healthy Eats. It's where I've been getting my meal plans from. And the last couple I had, I think tonight I had like some chicken, rice mixed with some black beans and corn. It was pretty good. I mean, it don't sound like something I would usually eat with some and then the night before that I had some rice, green beans, and a little bit of beef, but it looked like it didn't have no fat on it. It was just like some lean beef, and it was pretty good. It ain't, these types of food ain't usually what I eat. I'm usually eating like fried chicken, mashed potatoes, big ass double cheeseburgers, Philly steaks, and big damn Dominic's, the sausage place. I'll be eating all kinds of crazy, unhealthy foods. Now it's a little bit more, let's reel that shit back,
If you needed this kind of sleep previously to when Stephan wasn't there, what would happen?
You mean if Stephan wasn't there and I needed this good night's sleep?
Mm-hmm.
It depends. If I had missed my meds the way I missed them that night and I wasn't feeling, or I was feeling just how I was feeling, I'm not sure if I would have had her have her sleep with me on the other side of the bed, or if I would have sent her upstairs to the guest room. But she sleeps like a monkey. She rolls. She'll start on one end of the bed and end up on top of me by the end of the night. And she's a gymnast, I guess. But
Have you ever sent her upstairs to sleep?
no, not for any of these reasons.
Have you ever sent her upstairs to sleep by herself?
Alone?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm going to need to wrap this up.
Okay, one more question.
One more question.
Does anybody use your phone other than you?
No, except for the day that
I know, Thomas.
we were sitting in front of my house and forensics was in the house. That was the only time I've ever let anyone use my phone, and that was Stephan.
Kim Jong-un.
What about, do you wear an Apple Watch?
Yes.
Does it track any of you?
William, I seen that. Listen, I've been trying not to touch on anything on the Sebastian case. This last few days, it's been pretty much Maddie Soto. I told people a few days ago, I was like, look, we're going to reel that back a little bit, unless something comes out. But I did see Nick the Goof walking around with duct tape on his mouth. And, a lot of that is because the PO thing, the parole officer. Now, I know that got back to him, and I know the sources that got it back to him. All right. That's why I told you guys I was going to shut this dude down. And I wasn't going to allow him to get out here and do this crazy shit. But now that he ain't saying it, he made it even crazier with the Kim Jong-un. I was thinking way too many tens. But whatever it be, these people are foul and disgusting. Okay. I don't want to go off topic too much because we're listening to this, but since you said something like, so I was laying on, I'm going to share this with you guys. So I'm laying on the couch, right? And PJ's taking a nap, and I seen Nick the Goof got a video, because I seen the post. People sent it to me like, oh, and the fake letters from the lawyer. That's the type of stuff the PO wants to see, his parole office. Okay. Now, usually I don't do stuff to people like that. I don't try to get people in trouble or not like this, but this dude is a fraud, 100% a fraud. Now, if he came up on YouTube and he talked about true crime cases and he covered it and he didn't make up things and he didn't lie about fake rewards, now he has a $50,000 reward for the capture of the guy that's missing in Kentucky. Okay, listen, these dudes don't got $50 Okay. They were walking around a cemetery today with a piece of duct tape over his mouth. Okay. Because he knows now his parole officer is going to see this shit. He's on state parole in Pennsylvania for fraud. Wasn't hard to find out. Wasn't hard to get the numbers. Wasn't hard to call. Okay. Now, I think he thought that was a joke at first, but people told him, said, hey, when Dolly says some shit, he ain't kidding. You know what I'm saying? He ain't kidding. Like, I am not going to let you disgrace this kid's name like that. Not while I'm here. Not while my heart's beating. Right? It's still beating. You may have got away with this shit if I'd have went bye-bye, but I didn't. Okay? I'm here. I still have a voice, and my voice is loud, and my voice gets out to a lot of people. And I'm going to use it for that. I'm going to use it for good. And you sorry ass people out here, I'm going to do the best I can to shut you down. Right? It is disgraceful what they're doing. It is horrible what they're doing. And I don't mind if you come up here and give your opinion on a missing kid. I don't. I give my opinions all the time. Who would I be to say anything? I'd be a hypocrite. But when you got these fake lawyer that, listen, hey, Nick the Goof, tell your lawyer I said go fuck yourself. Okay? Tell him that. All right? You keep frauding people, and I guarantee you, you're going back to prison. You're on state parole to 2025, right? How do I know that? Okay. So you should know that I've tapped in with some people, right? When you put out that letter today, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for more fraud from you. You stealing people's identity once again. You putting out your own lawyer letters and all this, talking about you're going to come after YouTubers. Come after me, right? Everything I've said about you is nothing but the truth. You're a weirdo walking around the graveyard like the Night Stalker with a damn piece of duct tape over your mouth looking like a fucking idiot. I hate to get sidetracked, guys, but I want to touch on this because they brought it up. And whatever the weird Japanese dudes you got, right, that talking about his shoes cost $1,000 when he's wearing some $5 7-Eleven shades, you guys are a joke. If anybody on the internet takes you seriously, they done hit their head on a big ass rock. Okay. And I ain't talking about no little rock. I'm talking about damn big ass where you can bumped your head on every rock you could hit it on. You are disgracing this little boy's name. This is a missing kid. This shit ain't no joke. All for you to get a little bit of money, a little bit of clicks and views. What I seen today was pure tea disgusting. Now, the reason I don't like to say these people's name is because I don't want you guys watching them, because that's what they want. Okay. They want people to watch them. They like, listen, if Dog the Bounty Hunter has anything to do with you guys, then he's a fucking joke too. All right. Because you guys are 100% clowns. Yeah, I said it. Do something about it. Okay. Do something about it. And one, I wouldn't put my hands on you, okay? Because you got herpes, all right? And your buddy looked like he got, I don't know why y'all's lips look the way they do. Walking around in a graveyard together with herpes on your lip is like, he was, and you know, they had the nerve to say, well, Chris Proudfoot spent $1,000 on my, on billboards. My shoes cost more than $1,000. Look, fat boy, show your shoes, okay? Because your clothes that you wearing say different. Okay. The shit you got on says different to me. Right. Cause you know, I'm a designer where I got plenty of pairs of Versace's and shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I see y'all wearing this bootleg shit and y'all saying y'all got all this money, I know better. I'm not that stupid. Right. And for the YouTubers that back you, every last single one of you is fake as shit. Okay. And shout out to Don B. I heard Don B said some nice things. He said the only person that's covering the Sebastian Rogers case decently is Dolly Vision. And you know why that is? It's because I didn't pick a side. I picked Team Sebastian. So when Seth does something wrong, I'll say something bad about Seth. When Chris and Katie are doing something F up, I say something effed up about them. When you came out here trying to fraud the internet with these fake rewards, of course, I had to say something. I'm not going to let you do that. When I go look for these kids, I really go look. This ain't some fake shit to me. This is my life. And when you come in here and it ain't real to you, nah, you're not doing that shit on my watch. And I'm going to stop it. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to do my best that I can to shut it down. It's hard when other people won't do the same thing, when they won't be honest people. It like, I hate to say this is probably why I ain't got a lot of YouTube friends, because a lot of you people are fake as shit. Be real to yourself. I'm a father. Okay. Y'all hear me all the time speak about my daughter, my kid. See, I love my kid. It's like my arm, right? You get these people up here, you ain't got no kids, you're fraudulent, you like, and it ain't even just, like I said, I wouldn't care if people came up and gave their opinion and talked about the case. It's when you try to insert yourself in the case and make up things, and you start lying and you change the flyer and you start putting your phone number up there instead of tips going to the police that could actually go find this kid and help recover this kid. No. Like, what can dog do that the police can't do? Do you think that dog has any more power than these detectives? In every video, y'all connect yourself to dog. I've never one time seen dog come out with a video that connects him to you, right? So just know this: your parole officer is watching, and there's a lot of people up here that already know you're going back to prison, bro. And listen, you're doing it to yourself. You can put a piece of fucking duct tape over your mouth all you want and have somebody else say it. But when you start putting out them fraudulent letters from fake lawyers, that's what got you sent to prison in the first place. Okay? Faking shit got your ass sent to prison. You already did 2 years in prison. Do you want to do the other 2? You were sentenced to 4. Okay? And then when you get off that, you still got probation to do. How do I know that? How do I know that? Ask yourself that, Nick the Goof. And you should know I'm not fucking playing with you. Leave these missing kids alone. Go chase convicts like you were doing before. Okay? You're a convict. Go chase convict. Dog's a convict. He chases convicts. But you leave these little kids the fuck alone. Simple as that. I'm not playing. It's not a joke to me. It ain't a game. You want to go back to prison, that's where you'll go. All right? Because right now you campaigning for it. And you're trying to turn a missing kid case into a joke. All right, guys, I just had to get that off my chest. Okay. All right.
Your movements or anything like that you know of? Do you sleep with your watch on?
No, I hardly ever put it on, honestly.
Okay. All right. I don't have anything else.
Do you have anything real quick, Danielle?
No.
Do you have anything that you think we should know, Matthews?
Unfortunately, no.
Good down there?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, it's 10:06 a.m. We will conclude this investigative subpoena interview with you, Ms. Soto. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Okay. So that was the internet interview with Jenn Soto. You know, just like I said, selective memory. The whole, every time she did something wrong and she was going to have to, you know, make up something to defend herself for her actions, she would take that and then she would go into it. All right. Let's open up the phone lines. I want to hear from you, beautiful people. I still got about 30 minutes that I can hang out with you. So let's open the phone lines. The phone lines are now open. The call-in numbers on the screen right here above me, 757-797-6694. Dolly.
Richard from Texas. What are you doing?
What up, Richard? You know, just living my best life.
Hey, Jenn Soto and Stephan, they don't need nothing but a firing squad. That's all they need.
I agree with you 100%. Now, you know, I believe they're both monsters. I know some people think differently, that she may have been naive or ignorant to the situation, but I don't believe that to be the case.
Ain't no mother. No. You don't ever see, like, if that was a real mom in there interview, she wouldn't even be able to give the interview because she'd be crying so damn hard.
I know. Right? I'd have been in there. I'd have been in their tour part. Somebody did something to my kid.
Yeah, I'd have been like, you got to give me a couple of days. I can't talk right now. I don't understand.
Yeah,
I just
it would have been hard. It would have definitely been hard, but I would want to give them the information to prosecute the person. I don't know
Yep.
if I could have been as calm and collective, like laughing and joking and all that stuff that she
no,
was
and never
doing.
cry. Like never cry, and then like you hit it on the nail with that deep breath crap. That is a ball face. That's her covering her own lies every time.
Every time she has telltale signs,
Every time, and then to say, "Oh, you don't talk about the things when they're
I wish
12 or
they would.
13 or whatever."
I wish they'd have been a little rougher with me. Let me interview her. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
exactly. Just let me have it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, because if she won't cry, and she be crying by the end of it. You know what I'm saying? No one.
You can cry in 5 minutes, Dolly. 5 minutes, you can make that woman cry. 5 minutes.
I just can't believe some of the stuff how she thinks this is a joke and she don't take it as so serious, and the lawyer to get the lawyer and lawyer up like she did, and then go back and do the interviews.
Well, because she realized that she screwed up.
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah, and then the whole "I'll talk if I got immunity" type thing. Well,
all. She ain't gonna have immunity.
soon as you start asking for immunity on certain things, because they told her she did have immunity in the beginning of this, as long as she told the truth. You did something wrong, because you wouldn't need immunity if you didn't do nothing wrong.
Exactly. In the first case, I understand they can give her immunity for the first case because it's just the pictures on his phone. They really did kind of need her, I think, but I don't think she helped him in the long run anyway, because she covered for him more than she talked about her own damn daughter.
Yeah, even when they showed her the pictures, she didn't think that was him.
I know.
And then she also said that the sex part ain't evil. Well, what the hell is evil to you if your daughter was 8 years old, lady? 8 years old.
It's disgusting. That's no mom at all. She's just no mom.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what kind of life she had growing up, but I'm pretty sure it was better than what poor Maddie had.
Well, you see her dad had money, her mom had money. They lived in that nice ass house in the gated community. So I don't think she had a rough life. I ain't saying that she wasn't abused or anything, but it don't sound like she had it too bad.
She just lets men control her. That's the part of the problem. She's weak.
Yeah, and she, like, if you look at the history of her, she jumped from man to man to man to man. Like she always
bro's gonna be alone.
She couldn't be alone. Yeah.
I think she used Maddie to keep Stern around. I think that's really what it's going to boil down to. I think the truth eventually will come out. I think after the first trial of his essay or whatever it is for the pictures and stuff, once they do that trial, I think after that, she's not going to be safe anymore. I think when it comes down to the murder trial, that's when they're going to get her.
Well, she thinks she had a hard time finding a job before. It's going to be really hard for her to get a job now.
No, everybody's going to hate her. Nobody gonna want her out.
Everybody is going to hate her. Nobody's going to want that type of stuff working for their companies. Good thing she gets disability.
Yeah.
For her.
Different because Casey Anthony, remember her? Like, how did she get off? How in the hell did that woman get off?
She's in Tennessee now.
Yeah, but how did she get off? You know what I'm saying? Like Florida, this is like they just let those murderers walk. It's so
money, man, money. That's how people get away with stuff, is money.
And her parents, I think, kind of covered for her. I think that they should have been. I think the way they are now is how they should have been in the trial. And if they would have done that, I think she would have been found.
That lady just didn't want to give up her party lifestyle. That's it.
I know, and it's just so sad how she got away with it for so many days. Like, it makes you wonder, were the parents involved? 30 days? Really?
She still got Nancy Grace pissed off. But look, hey, we're running out of time. We're running out of time, Richard. You be good. Stay safe, brother.
Brother, you too, man.
All right, peace. Yeah, I can see Nancy the other day. She was like, she just can't believe it. You know, she coined the term "tot mom." That's behind Casey Anthony. And, you know, Casey Anthony done got up with a married man, done destroyed a family. I mean, I don't know what to say about stuff like this, but wow. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
This is Savannah.
Hey, Savannah.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Not too bad tonight. Starting to get a little tired.
I know. Yeah, I know. I'm glad to see you on YouTube, and I'm excited. I'm also Life Boss Truth, by the way.
You're what? Say it one more time.
I said I'm also Life Boss Truth 70 times 7. That's me.
Okay. Awesome. So what do you
But
think?
anyway,
What do you think about this whole Jenn Soto thing? Do you think she knew and should be in prison
Oh,
like
yeah.
a lot of us?
Oh, yes. And I think he needs to be castrated. I think she needs to be castrated. And I think both of them needs to be shot in the head. Well,
I don't know about
I better
all
not
that.
say- I
You
better
know?
not-
So we keep that to a minimum on YouTube. We gotta be, we got terms and service here. But
I
I
know.
think they should face the death penalty. We can say that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm from Texas. I believe in that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an eye for eye person. I believe if you take a life, you deserve the death penalty,
Absolutely.
especially if
I agree.
if it's easy proven. Now, if there's some doubt, I say we give you life in prison until we can figure it out. But if it's without a shadow of doubt, you did it, like your Chad Dormans and things like this. But he
Exactly.
shouldn't sit on death row for 25 years. You know,
I agree.
he needs to go.
Why pay? Why
Thank you, Shauna.
waste? Why pay? Why waste all this taxpayer money to keep them alive when I don't get it. I'm like I like your sentiment where you say 5 years and that's it.
3.
Let them,
3.
okay, 3
Yeah.
3 years. Let them do their court stuff and then bye.
Well,
You
yeah, I
know.
say give them their court case, give them their appeal, and then after that,
Exactly.
you got to go. None of this
Absolutely.
sitting on death row until the state finally change. That's what happens. A lot of people sit on death row, and then the state does away with the death penalty. Like that's a lot of people are facing the death penalty here in Virginia, and they're sitting on death row. But Virginia abolished the death penalty, right? So we don't, and we were right behind Texas on executing people. Now we don't execute nobody. And I think that brings in, like, it devalues my life because you could kill me and you get to go live your best life in prison, go to school, get a GED, get a job, go outside, watch cable TV. I would never be able to do that again. I'd be in the ground getting eaten by worms.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it ain't right, is what it is. And
It's
like,
not right at all.
and there is, listen, I understand when people say, the bad thing about death penalty is mistakes and innocent people have been executed. We just got to come up with a better system to where we don't execute innocent people or the possibility they could be innocent. But the people that we know without a shadow of a doubt is guilty and done these things, they got to get up out of here.
Right. Absolutely.
And Jenn Soto,
I can talk this all night long, but we don't have time.
like Jenn Soto, I can say, well, maybe there is a possibility she didn't know. Well, let's put her in prison. Let's don't execute her. Let's put her in prison. Now, Stephan Stearns, we know he did it, right? We know he did it. The pictures show he did it. The evidence shows he did it. The pictures of her unalived in the car shows he did it. Why is he still breathing?
And that one video where he's in the back of that police car, you could just tell.
You remember
he wanted to turn around and shoot him, but he couldn't. He wanted
right?
to say something and he didn't want.
Do you remember when Saddam Hussein went to court?
Yes.
Right after they found him guilty, they took him, handed him over to his enemies. They walked him up into the gallows, spit on him, and hung him.
Yep.
It wasn't no sit on death row. It wasn't none of this. You were found guilty. They handed him over to his enemies, the Kurds, and they spit on him the whole walk. And then they took him up there as they were busting him upside the head, and they executed him.
And see, that's how the United States should be with a lot of these idiots, especially these child molesters and child killers.
Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't be a whole bunch of this. It should be, okay, you're guilty. Let's walk you out back and let's finish this up. But for some reason that ain't the way things operate, and I don't write the laws, so I just look at head and go.
We just vote.
Yeah, that's all you can is be out there and vote for people that do believe in an eye for an eye.
Absolutely.
Let's get some of these monsters out. I wish Virginia would go back to executing people because I think this is a safe haven for crime. And we was number 2 in executing people, right behind Texas. We look how fast we execute Remember Muhammad and Malvo, the DC snipers?
Yes, yes.
Well,
Yes.
they had shot some people in Virginia, so we charged.
Yeah.
They charged them first in Virginia, so they could get the death penalty, and they executed Muhammad within like 3-4 years. Malvo,
Yeah.
he said he was being SA'd by Muhammad, and they overturned his to life in prison. But Muhammad, they got him out of here quick. I mean, record-breaking time executed him.
That's crappy.
It was not for the people he hurt.
Mm-mm-mm.
For the people he hurt, justice was served.
Yeah. Well,
now me myself, Malvo, the younger one, I think he should have got the death penalty too. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Two wrongs don't make a right. Just because this dude's doing things to you don't mean you should be killing people. So I believe, he's still trying to get out of prison. I hope they never let him out.
Right. I agree with you.
So
I agree 100%.
But hey, look, we're running out of time. I appreciate you calling
Yes,
in
sir.
and chopping it up with me.
Love you guys.
All right.
Good night.
Peace. Yeah, listen, I ain't saying let's strap her to the electric chair or nothing, but I do believe she should be in prison. There's no way she didn't know. Why ain't she charged with any child neglect like that? Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Granny, what you doing up so late?
Oh, I couldn't sleep.
Oh, okay. I'm getting ready to go to bed here in a few minutes.
Yeah, well, me too, but your color looks real good.
Thank you. It might be just a light, and I don't know. I shaved a little bit too.
And I'm so glad you didn't see the light.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too, Granny. I think I'm more glad than you.
Back when this first started, I told you that Jenn Soto pimped her daughter out.
Yeah, you did. And I mean, there's just more and more proof coming out to that with these interviews that are being released through the Freedom of Information Act, these FOIA requests.
Yeah. And I really believe that she was a participant in it too.
I'm the same way. I believe the same thing, Granny. Yeah. As sick as that is, as sick as it is, I believe the same thing.
And I hope that they don't let her get away with this. I hope they arrest her.
I mean, maybe they're going to try to get what they can till this is all in court and then bring her up on charges. It's never too late to hit her. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's never too late. They had enough to keep him for the rest of his life, though.
I mean, people need, especially people in Florida, need to be reaching out to the DA and saying, hey, don't make us get a new DA. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Because this lady needs to be in jail. I don't know what their plan is. Hopefully they got a plan in place and she will eventually be charged with something.
I hope so, because if she's not, it's a crime. That's a crime in itself.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you 100%. At least different, child neglect charges for allowing that, especially when she said she was suspicious of it and she was aware of other situations of it. So it ain't like she was blind to this could happen. She knew it. She knew it could happen.
She knew it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing she did was try to cover her own butt. She just, I don't know. I can't stand her.
Yeah, I've heard people even in the chat be like, I hate her. And hate is a strong word,
I dislike her more than I do him.
I think they're both pretty much the same, but it's worse because she was supposed to be there to protect Maddie. So it makes her a little worse, I guess. You're right.
It does. It makes her worse. All right. Well, I love you. You watch your tongue.
You too, Granny. Right. You be good. Get your ass to bed.
I am. You tell PJ I said I love her.
All right. She's asleep. I'll tell her when she gets up. She'll be up in like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Okay.
All right.
You watch top notch. Bye.
All right. Peace. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
It's Shauna.
Hey, Shauna.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Not too bad. Getting late, but I'm still here with you guys. Did I lose you? Shauna, can you hear me? Shauna, going once. Going twice. Okay, it looks like we lost Shauna. All right. Dolly.
Hey, my buddy, how you doing?
What's up, Miss Brenda? Oh, you guys are up late tonight, huh?
I'm sick, buddy. Been sick going on 2 weeks.
Oh, God. Well, I hope you feel better, Miss Brenda.
The way I feel right now, I'd about have to die to feel better. And that's the truth.
Thank you, Adams. What do you think? You got the flu or something?
No, honey, I've got COVID.
Oh, okay. Get you like a bunch of vitamins. I can't give medical advice here, but take care of yourself.
It's even worse because I've got COPD.
Oh, that ain't good. So really, really take care of yourself. Have you've been following up with a doctor and everything?
Yeah, and the dumbass told me I had bronchitis.
Oh, well, that's why it's always good to get a second opinion sometimes.
Yeah, I did. I went to the pharmacy and got a COVID test. Bam, COVID.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think it's quite as bad as it once was, but like I said, I'm not a medical professional. I can't give advice on it, but not here on YouTube, but behind the scenes I could. I got it like when it came out. I went through the whole thing when everybody was getting it and nobody got it. I never missed a day of work. I was working as an electrician and we just worked every day, but usually it was just me and my coworker and at work. And then he told me one day, he says, I just want you to know, man, that my old lady has, the 19. And I was like, don't you think you could have told me before I got in the work van? He said, would you have not worked? I was like, no, I'm going to work anyway. You know what I'm saying? I ain't missing it. And I didn't get it the whole time. Right. And then after it all died down and nobody was sick anymore, then I got it. And it was just, I was only down for a few days.
I lost 3 friends to it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
One of them was from Washington State. Now, these friends I didn't know in real life. I met in the chat room.
Oh, okay. Well, still the same. Once you're friends with people, you friends.
We were like family.
Mm-hmm.
I'd known them for years. And the one lady, her name was Melissa. It took her. It took a friend of mine in Florida named Mo. And it took another one of my friends. And it's like, damn.
Yeah. Well,
but it's when it first came out.
Yeah, just the flu alone takes out so many thousands of people a year. So just take care of yourself, stay relaxed, and if you start having any problems, make sure you follow up with your doctor.
I will, but I didn't get to watch you last night, Dolly, honey. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Okay, yeah, it was pretty disgusting last night what we went over, so you didn't miss nothing.
I didn't watch much of this tonight. I'm sorry. Certain things I just can't, honey.
I know it's hard. It's horrendous. I agree with you. It's hard for me sometimes. Anything dealing with kids is hard. It's hard dealing with adults, but I mean kids. It kind of twists your heart a little bit.
Well, when the same thing happened to you at 8 years old, it sort of hits home,
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it. But I wanted to call and tell you that I love you and wanted to ask you all to please pray for me because I will definitely say a prayer for you, Miss Brenda. And guys, make sure y'all drop a prayer for Miss Brenda tonight. And yeah, I'm sure that's not I'm sure you're not feeling good with, COPCD and that hitting you all at once. So we'll definitely pray for you. Not a problem. Honey, and y'all have a good night. Love my turtles.
All right, you be good, Miss Brenda. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Yeah, that ain't no joke. Okay, that ain't no joke. And you gotta remember, guys, it's that time of the year too. Okay, Dolly, when the weather changes.
Hello.
Hey.
This is Rose from Virginia.
What's up, Rose? Long time no hear.
I know. How are you doing?
Oh, getting tired, Rose. Getting tired. It's about that time.
Yeah. No, you look good, and I'm so glad you're up and about and doing things that you love.
Yeah, I am too, for sure.
I wanted to touch in on one thing that she said that was very telling to me, and that was last night. When she started talking about her fear was this Woody Allen situation.
Yes.
I thought she knew.
She knew.
She knew he was attracted to her. She let him sleep in bed with her, but she was afraid that they might fall in love and run off at some point, like the Woody Allen. That to me was just, they could have arrested her right there.
I mean, I thought so too. I mean, Woody Allen's situation was a little bit different. He adopted the girl and was supposed to be raising as his kid, but really he was sleeping with this girl. And then when she got old enough, they got married.
Right.
Hey, Woody is a sick guy. He is a sick guy. And a lot of them people in Hollywood are, it's a cesspool, it is.
Right. But that was her fear. Really? And you're telling me you're afraid that might happen, but yet you let him sleep with her? Like, I mean, you didn't have any other kind of fear? Like, I mean,
she said
didn't
she was
make
selfish.
sense.
She said I was selfish because I was tired and I needed to sleep.
Oh, God. And then the other thing that really bothered me was, I don't know, maybe this is a new age thing that mothers do this with their daughters, but keeping track of your period on a computer app, that's like brand new to me.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean,
that's weird.
And I thought, well, that was kind of telling too, because like, why would you need to be so on point about when this girl's having her period? Because you're afraid something might pop up.
You're scared
right?
she's sexually active.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
So
the
those
only
are my
reason you
two.
would be keeping up with it is because you would think she's sexually active, so you got to keep up with it.
Yeah. So those two things just really stood out to me, and I just think I don't think she's dumb, but she's dumb. Like she's just
Ain't nobody
dumb.
that dumb, Rose. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Or they
I know.
shouldn't be. If she's getting
good at
disability,
playing dumb.
if she's that dumb, she needs to get disability for being dumb because she's getting it for
Exactly.
PTSD, and apparently it don't even sound like she has it.
Yeah.
So she's one of these women that are playing the system.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that are really disabled that can't get disability, and then you got people that are not, that fake it, and the government pays them and they just sit on their asses and don't do nothing.
Right.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Does she still live in that gated community, or?
Yeah, she had left. She had left for a while, and she was staying with her sister because Dolly knows everything. So she was staying with her sister for a little while, but I'm assuming she's back at the residence by now.
Oh my dear, I couldn't stomach it to go back there.
I'd
sell it and move on.
Here's the thing: if I was her, I'd move out to the middle of West Virginia somewhere where there ain't people, because everybody in the planet is going to, time Stephan Stearns goes to court, and all this is going to be televised on court TV, and everybody's still going to be talking about it again once he starts hitting court. Where could she go that people ain't going to recognize her?
Oh yeah. Hey, I got a question that I'm not clear about. What is the immunity? She doesn't. I don't think they need her to give her immunity in order to get Stephan.
I don't either. I don't either. I agree with you 100% on that. I think they have enough on him that they don't need her.
And they certainly shouldn't give her immunity. Just like that that Montgomery case.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that situation?
Yeah, he's out right now.
I know.
Yeah, Kayla's out. And that makes me sick.
Yeah.
The girl. And she was staring me down in court too. I don't know what it was, but we locked eyes for a good 30 seconds, and she was just staring me down like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
And but she's out, and if she continues the life she was living, she'll be back in prison.
Yeah.
But look, hey Rose,
And I don't.
hate to cut you off, but we're running out of time. I got to let you go. Okay.
Okay, buddy. You take care of yourself and love to PJ.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
I got time for one more call, guys, and then that'll hit the 2:00 mark, and I'm going to go turn into a pumpkin in here. All right, not a pumpkin with a mullet. I'm a jab at CP, right? A jab at CP because he had that big orange shirt on with that crazy ass mullet. But yeah, I got time for one more call. If not, then I'm going to wrap it up with you guys, and I usually end with a question. And my question tonight for you guys is simple. Did Jenn Soto know? And should she be sentenced just like Stephan Stern? I believe she was involved in these crimes and she deserves the same treatment as Stephan Stern. That's my belief. That don't mean you guys got to believe the exact same thing as me. I know some people think she was naive and she may not have known. And, that is a hard sell. I think it's easier to sell to people, hey, this lady knew than it is to say, hey, she didn't know. And especially when this is going on from the time this little girl was 8 years old and she's doing her laundry. She's allowing them to sleep with them. They're all sleeping in the same bed. And like I said, there's just some things naturally that happen to men sometimes in the morning. Why would you want your daughter, you know what I'm saying, in that type of situation, and they're sleeping alone, and you didn't notice the camera stand and the lotion and the lubes and the sex toys, and you're allowing your daughter into that environment. It's bad, and I can understand the disdain that everybody has for this woman. I completely understand it. Even as a man, I would know better than that, and I don't think there's no woman on the planet, unless they were willingly letting these people do this, let this happen. So prayers to little Maddie up in heaven. And she had a rough time from the time she was 8 till she was 13. And that's because of a monster and her mother that was also a monster. All right, this is Dolly.
Hi, this is April from Augusta.
Hey, April.
Hey, first of all, I want to say I'm glad you're doing okay.
Thank you so much.
I've had open heart. I get it. None of it's fun. It's all bad.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad they caught it in time.
Yes, me too. And when I woke up, I was like, when I woke up and I was like, knew I was here. I was drugged up, but I knew I was, even on the drugs, I knew I was alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the first thing I seen was my daughter's face, and I could see some of the relief that I was still here, and it made me feel better. So
wow, I didn't know it got that bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So I was about gone.
So they put a stent in, correct?
Yeah.
And they were just gonna I heard you say you're gonna do cardiac rehab.
Yeah.
Are they just gonna keep checking you with echoes and stuff?
I don't know. I'm assuming when I go back to the doctor, they're going to do the echogram again, put me on the treadmill, make me run, take pictures of my heart, make sure everything's okay. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I just know what they've done previously. So hopefully everything goes good. And, I'm going to be here with you guys for a good bit. I hope and pray anyway. But you never know. Like I said before, even before I had the heart attack, I always would tell people, you're not promised tomorrow. None of us are. Not me now, not you, not anybody in here. None of us are promised tomorrow. So every day that you open your eyes, I usually say a little prayer in the morning time when I wake up now. I used not to do that. But when I wake up in the morning, I always thank God for giving me another day.
I probably should start doing that.
Yeah, when I wake up, that's when I say my little prayer. I'm like, thank you, God, for letting me wake up, having another day to do what I need to do, you know. And I didn't do that before.
I mean, my heart problem is congenital.
Uh-huh.
So I was born with it. I knew I was gonna eventually have to deal with it.
Uh-huh. See,
And
I had no clue that nothing was going on with me. It was just bam. You know, I didn't know till they strapped me in and said, "You're having a heart attack." And then I knew. I was like, "Oh Lord," and that scared me so bad because, you know,
oh my God.
just, you know, I've seen the statistics, you know, that most people don't survive their first heart attack. Like it takes a lot of people out. It takes a lot of people out of this world. And I feel unfortunate to be here. So, you know,
and like you said, I don't know this to be a fact because I've never met you, but I heard you say like you're a smaller guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't expect that.
I'm not heavy set. I'm not, you know, I'm a small dude. I just didn't, you know, in my mind, I thought you had to be big and didn't take care of yourself, but I wasn't. I really wasn't. I thought I could eat whatever I wanted to eat, but you can't. It don't matter about your size. It matters about it's the things you can't see. You can't see your arteries. You can't see what's clogged up. You know, I didn't know I was, you know, even when I went into the hospital, my right side of my heart was 100% blocked. My other part of my heart is 50% blocked. Now they didn't stent none of that. So to me, now it's a part of like trying to, you know, get my cholesterol down, clear up some of this plaque that's in my heart, and eat healthy because I don't want to have another heart attack. That would really, really suck.
Well, did they explain to you why they didn't?
I don't think they do any type of stents until your heart, till it's 75% blocked. Okay, 50%. I guess they don't figure it that bad. My right side was 100% blocked, so there was no blood going through, and that's what they stented. And then the other part of my heart, I guess, is 50%, and that's scary in itself to know that. Hey, you know, so you know, and the blood thinners. If you can thump me and I will bruise. Literally.
Me too. I have to take the Lovenox shot in your stomach. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I ain't had to do nothing like that.
You had no shots at all?
Not that I know of. No, everything they gave me is just like basic, you know. I can't go over too much medical stuff here because YouTube's funny about it.
Yeah. You're right. Don't do that.
Hey, but look,
in case someone else hears it.
Listen, I got to get ready to run because I got to hit the bed. It's my bedtime. It's too
late.
Wait,
I got one question that I completely left out.
All right.
When you were playing the Maddie Soto thing, where did that come from? I couldn't tell if that was court or a police interview.
Okay, that was the police interview from the DA's office, and it was recorded April 18th, 2024 from, I believe it's Kissimmee, or I don't know how to say the name of that place.
Yeah, I know. That's how you say it.
But yeah, that was the date. The night before, I played one from earlier on when she didn't know Maddie was dead. But a lot of YouTubers have paid this money to do FOIA requests and Freedom of Information Act, and you can pay for these and download them. So the one we listened to tonight is I paid for and downloaded. So you guys could hear it, you know, we could discuss it without, you know, other YouTubers.
I only caught it like after you started talking about it. So I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know it.
Yeah, well, there's a few YouTubers that are working together. I believe the Docket, Plunder, and somebody else. They all chipped in a bunch of money, and they bought these. Okay, well, paid for them, and then as they come out, they get them. So in the future,
I'll just say this: I would like to kick every adult's ass
that's involved in this case. I agree with you. So in the future, we will put in these requests for these types of things. So as soon as they come out, we get them the day they come out. So
and I'll help pay for it.
Well, I you know what I need to get it ain't that crazy. So we will have a system set up. So as soon as these information, these body cams, these different things drop, that we get them firsthand. Okay. Right now we're kind of getting them a little secondhand. Right, download them and paying for them, but soon we'll get them as they come out. So I'm going to have my team working on
Okay.
that. Soon as, there's something we're interested in, we'll start putting in these
Yeah.
requests for Freedom of Information Act, these 4 requests, just like every other channel.
Yeah.
All right, look, you be good. Stay
Okay,
blessed.
I mean, that was my only question. Please go get some sleep.
I am.
Please feel better.
I am.
Drink your water,
I-
eat your plain chicken and whatever.
Yeah, I'm here. All right, you be good. Stay blessed. Peace.
All right, you as well. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, y'all been wonderful tonight. Remember my question. Did Maddie Soto know? Well, Jenn Soto. I know Maddie knew. Okay. Did Jenn Soto know? And should she be sitting right behind Stephan Stearns? And when I wake up tomorrow, I will reply back to all your comments. So don't tell me in the side chat because there's 1,500 of you here. After this video ends, just leave it in the comment box down below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Dolly loves you. Peace.